Sweet. I'm a little early. Give everybody a little bit of time to come on while I get set up because I'm super slow. Hello. Let me know who's here. I'm hoping my crew comes that did the workshop because I want to know how y'all are feeling. Let me tell you, I feel like I got hit by a Mack truck, and I don't want to say that because I don't want that to happen. But holy hell schmel. My tea in my Beatles cup. It's so yummy. So I've had it's been a rough one, but I got some really cool stuff to talk about. Hi, Amy. How are you feeling? I'm just totally curious. I wonder if it's just me. I'm totally curious to know how everybody's feeling that did the workshop with me, because today I have had the craziest experiences. Achy and tired. That's exactly how. So my whole body aches. Oh my God, my whole body aches so bad. Oh, it's rough. And I thought it was just my arm yesterday. I thought I hurt my arm during that workshop because it was so intense, you guys. I'm talking about the Christ Light workshop. So we did bring down God's light, and we brought it through our systems and through our connections and through the ashram of the heavens, which I've had confirmation of that. It was an experience like no other, Amy. Oh my God, it was for sure. Holy shamoly, it was. Today, though, I've had the most incredible experiences on top of it. So I have a new guide. It is a ascended master, and it's a Shakti. Shakti is now with me for the next year for creation. She's realigning me with my divinity. I found out just how much my twin flames negative people he's around is affecting me. Because after yesterday, what happened in the workshop, which I won't talk about, if he ever wants to know, he can watch it. Or if he ever shows up and stops hurting the unions, that would be great. I would really love that. But it was kind of cool. Some stuff came up with that. And then today, Shakti came in and she literally realigned me to my divinity, and it felt so good. And I saw Jesus today, and I saw him like I've never seen him before, ever. Like, I've worked with him several times over. When I first had my awakening and I would see him, he would come in like slightly above me, and 303, he would look just like the size of an angel, right? Just like me, the size of me, or a human being the size of, but standing above me. And that's how he would do the healings with me. Not today. He is different. He is very different. He was larger than life, and I cried like I've never cried before when he came into my thing. So I had done these meditations. Shakti came in and did a healing on me. Jesus came in and did a healing on me, 333. I got confirmation of what an ashram is. The masters do use ashram. So we went up into the heaven into an ashram and brought down God's light. He literally put his hand over all of us that were there. And holy hell, I processed way many more souls. So I thought that might have been, hi, Chi-Chi, how are you feeling? I thought that might have been why I felt like I got hit by a Mack truck, but I don't think so. I think it's because we brought down so much energy through that workshop and into the earth today. So I thought I hurt my arm too during the workshop yesterday because I was so into what I was doing, and I was releasing I don't know how many souls again, and I cried like crazy. And then all the negative energy that was being forced out really affected me, and I thought I hurt my arm. I don't think so. I think it was going through some crazy healing, you guys, because after the workshop, like I forgot to even do the bowls. I was so into just ending that and processing all the souls, because every time I release souls, 444, I have to process them. And my body feels it. I process their life, their emotions. And if it's hundreds of souls, it's like all of this at once. Okay, so I was going through that. You guys that were there are well aware of that happening. And so I'm sure you guys felt it too. Like, oh, Gigi's feeling good. I feel so much like, oh my God, so much energy went through my physical vessel. I feel like I'm exploding from the inside out. It was a lot to process for me. And that's why I was wondering if it was just me. Hi, Holly. How are you feeling from yesterday? Wait, yeah, you were there, right? Yeah. That was crazy. But today I had some crazy things happening for me from Jesus appearing differently, you guys. It's not a joke. He was like larger than life. He came in above the sky. He was shining golden light, and I cried as if it was the first time I met him when I first had my awakening. So if you're ever a spiritual being and you work with them, you hear of something called the Jesus effect. It's very real. And I haven't gotten it because I channel him a lot and I work with him a lot. So I don't get it as much anymore. Oh, okay. See, Holly's got some symptoms too. We're all feeling something. I'm telling you, it was absolutely insane. But this time, Jesus came in when I was doing this thing and he did a healing on me. So I think my arm was healing like crazy last night with all that God's light that we put through. It wasn't Jesus's light, it was God's light. It was like tingling so bad. I felt like I needed to take my cast off. I felt like my hand could move. My fingers were moving in ways I haven't moved them in a long time. And so here I thought I heard it, but I think it was just massive energy going through it to heal it. And then today, it's the same thing. It's like the swelling on my elbow is way down. It's weird. Like I'm ready to get this cast off. That's how I feel. But my wrist keeps popping. I'm like, well, that's not good. Tell me it's healing. Yeah, but I think it is. And then today I saw Shakti. She's with me. She's going to be with me a lot this next year. She is now my new guide, I guess. She's an ascended master, a goddess master. She is the embodiment of all divine light. And I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. And they also told me that it is time for people to see what I've done. 2222. So I'm really excited about that. I really, really, really am. And they talked about mass balance coming to the earth. And that my divine light was given back to me. So I don't know what my twin flame is still doing. But it really knocked me out, like whatever, all that happened. And so yesterday's workshop and today, like it's all coming back to me. And I'm so excited about it. Like I felt so better. I could see so clearly in my visuals. It was amazing, but I'm definitely processing all those souls that I set free yesterday when we brought down the light. I don't know why I'm nervous. Hang on a second. There's like nervous energy going on right now. And I'm not sure that I'm not usually nervous. So I'm just going to calm the energy a little bit. And right away I'm burping. So I wouldn't be surprised that I had some upgrades between yesterday and today, what I was doing. So I'm kind of curious to see how messages come out for everybody that want some. And they did say that there were a lot of souls that were not happy with the work I was doing. Do you guys like remember everything clearly from the workshop, or is it a little bit like, because I can't even remember what God said at all. I remember the visual he gave me. Mine was of my future, which I had a family and a home. And so I'm really excited about that. And that's what they showed me. And again, I was hearing kind of the same things, like I've got my divinity back. And so I'm 2222 again. I'm really excited about that. Like my light was returned to me. And I will tell you that with the divine masculines, they did come into play during the workshop. And God has forgiven things that did come up. And balance is going to be shifted, even if there's a price to pay. A little fuzzy, Holly says, yeah, mine is too. But I can't forget all the souls I was processing. That for me is never an easy thing to do when I do these things. It's like when we brought the light through, it took a long time for the light to get through our system. It was literally God's light. I saw God. You should see the channeled messages too that came with it, you guys. They were insane. And when it came down through us and through it, we had extra connections, extra cords to bring it all down. And then the cord from the ashram. I'm not sure if this was the way it was supposed to happen, but it is the way it did happen. And Jesus today looks different. I'm not kidding you, you guys. He was like larger than life. He was above the clouds. He's shining gold. He did a healing on me again. And so did Shakti. But when we brought all that light down to the earth, all the souls that I let go, I'm trying to like place the meaning of those souls, but they were all over the earth. I don't think there was one specific location they were from. I truly believe it was just all the ones that were trapped that needed to be released, because it was a lot. You're talking like hundreds and hundreds of souls that went through my energy. And I'm processing that today a lot. It was insane. And I cried. I remember crying really hard. So if anybody does watch that recording, I cried. I cried like a baby. And then the light changed the earth. I'm not going to lie. So it was like a puzzle piece. The earth came apart like puzzle pieces. And we were with the gods and the angels, but it was the gods doing the work. Yes, there's multiple gods, but we have the creator of all that is. Nobody can do anything without the creator's permission, right? As far as gods and angels go. But I will tell you that when the light hit the earth, it moved the earth. It did like a foom. Another time where like a foom. And I'm getting ringing in my ear right now. And they showed me like a yin and yang, and that the balance will be restored. So all has been forgiven, but there is prices to pay for things. There always is when we have lessons to learn. That's what it's about. But there was a lot of beings that were not happy. And now I feel like I got hit by a Mack truck. Like my body's trying to explode from the inside out. And all the emotions I've been processing, and then Shakti coming forward. Oh, hi, Angela. And then I'm just discussing the thing we did yesterday, bringing Christ light down workshop that I did. It was insane. Insane. But I'm trying to see what they want everybody to know about the earth, because what happened that I do remember, because some of it is fuzzy. It was literally God channeling through me sometimes, and I don't remember anything he said other than the visual he gave me. But what happened was the blueprint of the earth did change. So the earth has her own Akasha record, and they rewrote it. The earth is no longer the same. It's not. 2222 again. That's insane how many twos I'm seeing. But the earth is no longer the same. So the earth we woke up in today is way different than the one we went to bed in the other day. That's the best way. And I feel like I'm in a different world. I don't know about you guys that did the workshop with me, and my ear keeps ringing. And Jesus is different. Like, he's free. And they always talked about the return of Christ, except for it was God's light. But I had set Jesus free. So all of it's starting to make sense. Like, I'm processing all that's happened, because it is more than our logical mind. And they talked about that. And again, I heard the chosen one, whatever that means. Yeah, Angela says, you should have seen that workshop, girl. Oh my God, it was so crazy. We're still processing all this energy that went through us. Like, it is overwhelming. I'm not kidding you. And it took a while. It got stuck in our sacral and root chakras. And like, I was there for a while, allowing them to expand to accept all that energy through. But what I seen with, and I did something with the sun too, I think, didn't I, you guys? Again, it says nobody's here. So let me know. 1444. I don't know why it does it. And they're copywriting my work, you guys. And I pay for the rights to use those. The most of the music, unless I'm singing it, I pay for the rights, and so I had to put a complaint in. So I have to wait a couple of days before I can do another missing persons video. And they've done this before. I am not a paid creator. I don't have a ton of people on here because I kept it small for a reason. But they actually dinged my channel again, and they are copywriting my stuff. But I pay for the rights and the licenses, so I did have to put in a complaint. So it's not a coincidence that that happened again right after that workshop. I've had that happen one other time after one of our workshops. Yeah, it's insane. And I will tell you that balance is going to be restored somehow or another, because that came in. I saw the yin and the yang of the earth, and a lot of souls were not happy with what I did at all. You can see them stirring and being forced to like rise from the earth. And then I also processed all these souls. But Jesus is different. I would pay money to hear anybody that actually works with him and sees him, the differences they see. Because he was way different. I've never seen him like that. He was large, he was above the clouds, and he was glowing with golden light. And I cried, I bawled. I haven't had the Jesus effect in about a year, because I work with him a lot when I do my healings. And so the feeling I got from him was that he's free. I'm going to cry again. But he's absolutely free. And so the return of Christ was God's light coming down. And so just be aware that there will be major changes on this planet going forward. It is no longer the same earth. The tone is different. The vibrations are different today. And then, like I said, Shakti came to me, and so did Malachi. Yeah, so that came in my messages earlier, Angela, is about boundaries. I would be very mindful of your boundaries right now, because it is still a spiritual warfare. And that's what they had to do because of my twin flame story and what happened to me there. They gave me my light back. And God has forgiven, but I can't say that there won't be repercussions in some way, because it was big what happened to me today. And I felt the shift, and I felt so much better. It's just emotional for me personally, but it was a beautiful story at the same time. So it was very, very powerful. And the sad part is, though, you guys, is Spirit told me that there was more souls that were being called to do that workshop, and they didn't listen. And that's the only thing Spirit is like. Spirit's very loving, and nobody judges anybody except for people are just not hearing the call. They're not hearing the call of their soul. It's the same thing that happened in my twin flame story, same thing that's happening across the board. And it's not like they're upset, but it's sad. It's sad because, let me put it this way. If you are given a task and you sign up for a task by God or by your higher self that they talk about, and you don't meet it, what do you think happens to your soul? You know, I don't want to know. I can feel it because of some things that happened to me, unfortunately, but not by my choice. But I would just be mindful to listen to your nudges, because the ascension is very real. I can't reiterate that enough. I literally brought down Christ light yesterday with my group. There were like quite a few of us, and if it weren't for them, we wouldn't have been able to bring down all that light. 1919. And what's really sad for me is that the twin flames didn't get to bring that down, you know? So let's be mindful to not miss that call, okay? Whatever you're being nudged to do, I would do it, even if you don't understand it, even if it seems like you'll be judged. Who the hell cares, okay? I have lost a lot of people when I woke up, It happens. I've had to stay away from my own mother when I woke up because she's not a very good person, and I found a lot out about that. And I've done a lot of this alone. And when my twin flame journey happened, I lost a good friend through judgment, as if I had done something wrong, and I didn't. And so we just have to let those things go and still listen to our own nudges, because you don't know where it's going to lead you, and you don't know where it's going to if you don't. Okay? But I would be very mindful to listen to the calls that your soul is sending out to you. Yeah. And so, that's what Spirit's talking about. And when I was a wounded healer, which I'm no longer am, because of my twin flame journey, I had to literally go through a lot of healing really fast, which I'm thankful for, because now I'm one badass biatch who's no longer wounded at all. And so I'm just still healing from that. And so it is hard when we're wounded, and we all have wounds, and it's all in layers. But I would just listen to those nudges, and I would continue following your path. And, the only thing where I would mess up on is there were times where I would still be like, well, Spirit says this, but I don't want to listen today. I want to go do my thing, because why can't I be normal? But I'm also very not normal. And I was doing a lot of things that I couldn't explain, like moving pyramids, activating pyramids. I didn't know about these things. And so with all of that, I made a few mistakes myself. We all do it, okay? But I will tell you, I learned my lessons the hard way with that. And I wouldn't deny your inner knowing. I wouldn't deny those inner nudges. Because this ascension is very real, okay? And Elon Musk, I saw that he had channeled a message recently that said the Earth is going to explode or something like that. Or he said the Earth is will be no longer. And I'm like, it already is no longer. That's what he's talking about. It's already not the same. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Ooh, Angela. Yeah, I would definitely, that's definitely a warning. Okay. I would definitely heed the warnings that you're getting. Dreams are very powerful, and they're very powerful messages. So, heed that warning. Take it for what it's worth. I don't know. I just keep processing a lot of what God said too. From my first time I woke up and he said something to me to this last workshop. It's taken a long time to process what he says. But I will tell you, these things are very real. And I would be very mindful to go against that, because if you are getting nudges, you're a lucky one. Okay? If you are a big part of the ascension, I would consider yourself a lucky one. All right? And I know it's not easy. My girls that have worked with me can vouch for that. The workshops that I've done, they can be heavy. And they've put us through a lot, 2333, especially the ones I've done, because it's all the earth work. From activating pyramids to moving the poles, I did that more times than once. One time I had to do it on one of my guided meditations after the twin flame thing. So Angela, I would look into lymphedema. Okay. But I'll do messages today. If you want a healing, we could do a donation-based one today. But I would look into lymphedema, and that's what I'm hearing. It's just your lymph nodes need to be flushed. And I feel like you're swelling, and you might be sensitive to the energy vortex is also what they're saying. That's near where you moved to, whatever that means. I don't know. But it's like barometric pressure. You know what I mean? And so I would look into that. But I am hearing lymphedema, and I don't think it's anything serious other than it's time to pay attention to some things. I don't know if you're a nurse. You might know all about that. But flush out your lymph nodes, which I've done several times. It's not as hard as it sounds as a healer, at least for me, but I don't know how they do it medically speaking. But I wouldn't squeeze your neck. I don't know why that's people's go-to. You ever had swollen tonsils and somebody's like, oh, and then they get sicker? That can kill you. Like, don't do that. Because your lymph nodes, your tonsils, your appendix filter out the yuckies in your system. Right? So, with all that being said, I had one of the most craziest experiences yesterday, and I'm honored. I am one of the most honored individuals that I know. I'm so thankful. Cool. Okay. I would definitely do a cleanse. You need to filter. So when I do it as a healer, I literally take it from your lymph nodes and I filter all the way out down your feet. And it's like mucus and I throw up. It's pretty gross. And so for me, that's how I do it. I don't know about the nurse standpoint, but it works. And so definitely do a cleanse there. And then they're saying watch your salt intake. So we need salt, but there might be high salt and sodium within the dirt and the ground and within your area, as well as your water. So just be mindful of that too. But I'm curious to see what's to come in the earth. I'm not going to lie after all of that. Okay. I mean, if I could do a healing on you, Angela, today was free messages and then donation-based healings. It's up to you. Plus, I mean, I don't know how necessarily to guide somebody through that, because I don't know if you see what I see and things like that. I haven't ever done that before. That's a really good thing to think about, as teaching how to do that. Oh, yeah, that could be a big deal. See, how would I know about that either? So I would definitely look into that as an issue as well. Okay. There's something going on there for sure. And I had no idea that would have matched 27. The synchronicities in this one are insane. So forgive my face. I actually put this cream on my face because I use new soap because still broken, have one hand to wash. All I could think about is sure would have been nice to have my twin flame. We could have had lots of love makings in the shower because he would have helped me every day. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But I had to change my soap, which caused me to break out. And then I put this stuff on my face, which dried it out so bad that it was like cracking and peeling. And so I can't do makeup right now. So forgive my appearance. I'm healing all around. But I'm with the people that did the workshop with me, even though there were a few souls that didn't hear the call. We were amazing. And I'm so blessed to have you guys and to be able to process that with all of you. I would definitely do that, Angela, for sure. I would do that, and I would do that with quickness. But there also might be some copper issues going on in there too. Old copper piping, possibly. I don't know. I don't know how all that works, but that's what I see. I actually get like a brass taste. Like I don't feel good. So there just might be some of that. So I'm gonna start shuffling some cards, and I will do my workshop peeps first. If you guys want a message, let me know what you want, and I'll just go in order from what you post. Say general, ask a question. Let's roll with this, okay? Excuse me, I'm already burping. I feel really nervous energy. I don't know who's watching. It's very nervous energy. And so I'm trying to clear that again. I don't know who this is for. There's a message for somebody that's watching, and I feel like they won't comment and they won't ask for a message. But they are saying that it's very important for you to be honest with yourself and be honest with those around you or it's going to sneak up and bite you like a snake. Okay? That's all I can say. I don't know who it's for, but they are and this is that nervous energy that I'm feeling. If it resonates with you, you're going to know who it's for. It's not for anybody who's commented. Sweet. Holly Brown says, yes, please, General. We just got all new plastic piping. Okay, good. Amy says General and General. Sweet. So we will go Holly, Amy, Gigi. All right. But still if it's a well water, I would just check into remnants, cleanse it out, get the hard filter, do all that. But I don't know who this message is for. They're telling me it's somebody who, you guys, I get a lot of watchers on my channel that don't subscribe. That's why they're dinging me for stuff I don't even get paid for, since a bitch is like, I have in like the 5,000 range of watchers and watch hours and all this stuff. And so if I had more subscribers, I would be getting paid. But it was kept small until now, so it will be growing. And so I'm just trying to get the copyright claims under control, because I actually pay for the rights to use those damn things. General. That's awesome. But there is somebody who's watching right now, and they won't tell me who. I do feel it's a male energy. My ear is ringing big time. And they are requesting that you start being honest with yourself, because it's creating a hole in your esophagus, so to speak. Maybe not physically so, but it will hurt you if you're not honest with yourself and with the ones around you. It will hurt you, okay? It is super important to be honest. It's not to create fear. It's like a warning of, hey, you gotta take note of this, okay? And so if that resonates with you, then it was for you, and I would take note of that for sure. And it's that nervous, I'm getting a lot of nervous energy. Like maybe you've considered it. I don't know what's going on there. But it's literally like taking my breath away. And it's just important for you to act once and for all. Okay? So there's that for whoever that's for. And once you do that, it's like your power comes back. And the light comes flooding through. And your health shoots up through and through, and abundance comes flooding through, and the most magnificent love, and all this kind of stuff. Okay? But otherwise, you're manifesting not good stuff. So be mindful of that. You guys, I'm shuffling my cards. And so we have Holly first with General. I was thinking about you the other day, Holly, and your doggy too. Just baby. So you do pop in my energy a lot. I felt so bad I couldn't do the bowls after the workshop yesterday, you guys, but my arm, I don't know what was going on with my arm. It was the strangest thing. After my workshop, I felt like I was literally leaning on it, and I thought I heard it, but I don't think I heard it. I think it was like healing in a crazy, crazy way, because it started tingling so bad. Good. I thought so. When I do those healings, know that I run light through them anyways. And so it's always beneficial. It always does something. Even if it seems like it doesn't. It does. And so that makes me happy to hear. So. All right, Miss Holly. It was General. Ooh. Right away when I get in your energy, again, I see animals. I don't know if you live in like the countryside or by a farm. I don't know what's up with that. And I hear a move. So eventually you're going to be moving to possibly either a moving career or a physical location. Hang on. Pulling one more deck out. Do. I gotta be careful with my singing, 'cause they might ding me. If I change the words and the beat is there, I don't think that's a copyright issue. Sons of bitches. My goodness. And I'm not even a paid creator, but I have so much watch hours on my channel that they pay attention to what I do. However, I post for rights under my videos, except for the one where I was singing. And I played that song off YouTube. That's the only one they can do a copyright claim on. But even the missing persons, they're copyright claiming on, and it's like, no. So I did file a thingy, and I have to wait a little bit. So just be mindful. All right, Holly. I have to use this deck, and I'm shuffling with one hand, so bear with me just a second. I don't know what this nerve. Somebody's very nervous. Somebody's very, very nervous. It's like my throat burns. And it's none of you. I feel like it's a male. But they're saying, if you just step in, you'll be all right. Okay? That's all it takes. You're creating the fright. I don't know who this is for. I'm sorry. It's a big message. They're like nuts. They're like, say it. They need to hear it. They won't ask. And I'm like, okay. Oh, another thing today happened to me, you guys, before I deliver Holly's message, is Malachi came to me again, but he did a healing on me. He's a master. Malachi is a master. He is not just an angel. He is not just a saint. He is a master, an ascended master, which makes sense to me because he's also part of the leader of the 144,000, like my twin flame and myself. Because if you noticed, how many of you have been paying attention to the twin flames? They have not united. And I cry every day. But he came to me today with his blue topaz, and they actually said that's the crystal I need. I need the rare blue topaz, and I've been trying to find one. If you guys find one, let me know, because even Amazon didn't have the rare blue topaz. They have the fake ones, and I don't want the fake ones. I need the real one. And that's what they said I need for my healings this next coming year, because my job is going to be to bring everybody into themselves. And that's what they've told me. And I've talked about that before. And again, I was given a scroll. So if anybody knows where to find the rare blue topaz, please let me know. All right, Holly. You are up, sunshine. Okay, so first of all, Holly, there's a couple things going on here, and you can let me know if I'm right or wrong. I feel like you've had a couple dreams. I feel like you've had some nudges. I feel like part of you is like, I can do that. And another part of you is like, how do I do that? How do I tell people I'm going to do that? Like, you don't know how to maybe implement them, or you don't know, they are saying, if it's really you picking up that signal. Oh, girlfriend, you've been working with me for a minute. There ain't nobody here that's going to work with me and not wake up to who they are and not come into these magnificent powers, okay? You just do. That's what we do. And so they're saying you are very gifted and you are getting messages. You are hearing nudges. And they may seem so far-fetched. You're like, is that really for me? Am I really supposed to take action? This is insane. So, Holly, this morning I did a video for Facebook with messages. Now I just shuffled the cards right here. That's what I was doing. And I kid you not that I have the same ones I either pulled for myself or on the thing this morning for you. And it goes with the message I'm giving you. Okay, so I feel like you are being nudged. I feel like you're also being nudged to step into. So the first one I'm going to show you is kindred spirits. Okay, kindred spirits, Holly. This is truly about finding those that are like you, that resonate with you, that will work with you. I feel like that's the part of the question is, how do I find an audience? But you will find people that will work with you, that need your vibration, that need what you have. And not only that, as you step into these things, you're going to help those around you wake up further too. Okay? You are surrounded by kindred spirits, and they will just find your light. It's as simple as that. Sounds right, she says. Okay. So have hope, okay, that these are purposeful, and everything is going to go your way. Everything is going to go your way, period. Like, it's so well. Okay. But being in gratitude for those messages is how they grow. Okay. Like, oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you for the numbers lining up. Thank you for the license plate messages, because that was the case. Thank you for the little nudges. Thank you for my dreams. Thank you for the powers that are waking up within me, even if it's been a challenge. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Okay, and they want you coming from that place and trying to stay in that place, because I feel like some of your nudges have been big ones. Like maybe way out of your comfort zone type thing. Like you've got to jump off the cliff. That's what they're telling me. But there will be absolute harmony. Whoa, sorry, one-handed talents here. There will be absolute harmony. Okay, harmony in every way. You're going to find those that need your song and that resonate with your song, and it's gonna line up like this. So I had said this to somebody else too. It's like if you're getting a visual, and this is not specifically for you, but let's say you get a visual of all of a sudden being a tattoo artist. Okay, this is not for you, but it's just an example. And it's so far-fetched, and you're like, how am I going to do that? How am I going to have the money to do that? The reason it's coming right now is because everything is going to line up for you. Okay, angels, the universe, our higher self will line it up for you perfectly, so even if it seems there's no way. Okay, all you have to do is step in. All right, but I would advise you not to wait any longer. Just take the first step and everything else will line up. Okay, another example is I didn't know how to do these YouTube videos when I first started my channel, 41, 44. Like I said, I had an awakening. I was a behavioral specialist. I worked with autistic kiddos, and I was a single mom, psychology degree. I straight do have one. I have a medical degree, psychology degree, and human service management degree. So highly educated, was not on the spiritual path. And Spirit's like, do these videos. And I'm like, how the hell do I do these videos? And I came through this group and they were not supportive of me at all. Matter of fact, they made fun of me. I did a missing persons video with Gannon when he first went missing, 4222. It was nudging my energy to do his. And I'm glad I did it because he was trapped on this side. I actually walked him over. But one of my first videos was on him on Facebook. And they gave me a hard time. They're like, do we have to listen to this? Like they were so rude about it. And so my point is I had no idea what I was doing. I was not getting support at all, but I kept going because Spirit was nudging me to do it. And I'm so proud that I did, because little did I know what was going to be coming through those videos. And it taught me a lot. And my first ones were not perfect. And maybe they're still not sometimes. But you guys realize I don't work with anybody. Nobody works with me. I do everything by myself. I pay for everything by myself. Self-taught through it all. I'd never done Hertz music. It was coming through and I taught myself. And everything I needed, Spirit provided along the way. Okay. But there was a bigger purpose to it, right? I wasn't meant to be famous right away. Because if I had too much energy coming in, it would have threw off the ascension. And we all seen that happen in the end. With the wrong energies, right? It can happen like that. So there was a reason I wasn't huge at first, because I also didn't know who I was. But sometimes they're to teach us, sometimes they're to align us to our purpose, and usually they're saying it's both. Okay, so everything's a learning process. Everything opens up for us as we need it, and it's just your time. Okay, does that make sense? Jump with those nudges, because I also had somebody tell me, you don't have to listen to everything angels say. I would. I've learned the hard way not to. 444, don't follow other people's guidance that way. If they're nudging you to do something, try it out, because it might teach you something. Yes. Okay? It might teach you something and lead you to the next thing. It may not be something you're going to do forever, but it might be something they need you to do in the moment for a bigger reason, 4444, than you can imagine. Okay? So please don't listen to people who say, you can pick and choose what angels say. Maybe if you're not part of the ascension, I don't know. I learned the hard way not to do that. Okay, because I did that with my twin flame. I thought he was my twin flame, but then others would tell me he wasn't, and I didn't listen to everything they said. And boy, it almost killed me. Not that that's going to happen to you. Different story. But if they're giving you anything, do it. Okay? It's not always something you have to put out there, but it's going to lead you to the next thing and the next thing. And it might even lead you to somebody important that's going to help you, or because you've got kindred spirits that are showing up already in your energy field, but that will also show up when you're ready. Okay. So another thing I teach people is if you want spirit to lead to you who's for you, say, Spirit, I'm ready for you to give me who needs me today. Right? Send to me who needs me today. But if they do that, you better hear the call if somebody shows up, okay? Because they will. They will show up in the weirdest ways, the weirdest scenarios. It's really important. My energy's calming down. That's good. I don't know who it was, but it's definitely calming down and feeling a lot better. So just make sure you listen to those calls, okay? Oh, that's an important thing for sure. So I would definitely do that, okay? Because that's about energy as well. Okay, that's about energy clearing, but you might find something, you might discover something. It's also a way to be creative, okay, and you're opening up energy. And this might lead into why I said moving in a big way. Because I do see something shifting like that in your home, location, but pay attention to your dreams too, okay? And also when you come into people's energy, Holly, pay attention to the nudges you get because you are feeling their emotions. And we are healers, okay? And so it's an opportunity for you to shine light their way or to talk to them because they might be lonely that day and that's why you're feeling them, okay? Because sometimes all we need to do is say, hey, you're beautiful. I see you. And you're going to change somebody's world. Okay. So pay attention to those two. There's other stuff coming in for you. I feel like there's multiple. All right. Okay. So then we had Amy. Are you still here for General? General, I get to see you again tomorrow, Amy. Whoop, whoop. Yeah. I don't know what we're doing yet. Don't even ask. They haven't told me. Okay. But again, get a dream journal. I don't know if you already have one, but I would definitely have one. Especially after yesterday, things are going to start moving for you quicker and quicker. You're going to get more nudges if you haven't already. Okay, and this is like career stuff too. Cool. All right, Miss Amy. Ooh, my ear is ringing right as I start. Ooh, holy shiznitzel. It's very high pitched. Hang on. Did you find something today, Amy? You're so welcome, Holly. Amy H., did you find something today? I don't know why your dad came in and he said she found something today. I'm not sure what that's referring to. But that's what I hear. You found something today. Something about it's like an important piece for her journey. I'm like, is that what you want me to say? Okay. Well, you might have not physically, but I feel like you found something today. A piece of your soul, a recognition. There's something there. So just be mindful. That's what he is saying. He's not being specific if like it's a physical item or an emotional one. But you found something today. Okay. And let's see. Because my ear was ringing like crazy. Something what else he has to say. Is there a new edition on the way? What the hell's going on? Is there a family member that's pregnant? What's about the new addition on the way? I'm not sure what's going on. It's a little cryptic. It's more for you, not for me. Something about you found something today and there's a new addition on the way. Maybe you're not aware yet, so just keep your mind open to that. I don't know if somebody's pregnant. I don't know if there's a new animal coming in. Okay, just let me know when that comes about, because that's what he is saying. You found something today and there's a new addition on the way. Okay, that's your message from your dad. Just write it down and hang on to it. And when it makes sense, it'll make sense for a reason. All right. And then he's also saying, tell her there's magic inbound. So, okay. Damn with these cryptic messages today. But there's also magic inbound. Something you prayed for is on its way. Something you manifested. Okay. You found something today. There's a new addition inbound, and there's magic coming in. So something you manifested, it's on its way. He won't tell me exactly. I'm hearing what? That's, you'll see that when it comes. If we tell you what, it blocks it. Okay. Because what I teach you about manifesting, don't think too much. Just let it be. Let it be. I got to be careful singing so they don't copyright me. Yeah, people. What do I do about that? I sing. That's part of my messages sometimes. Sons of guns, man. Why are they copywriting me so bad? That's what I want to know. I'm not a paid creator. Shoot. All right, Amy, but that's the messages from your dad. I hope you wrote them down because they're starting to fade. He's going away. He got his point across. It was a big one, so feel free to message me when it makes sense to you. I would love to hear about it. Okay? It's Christmas time, so Lord knows what's happening. You can find out somebody's pregnant. You can have a puppy at your door. I don't know what the hell's coming your way. Or both. I don't know. But that's what's going on there. Hey. And there's magic coming through. So one of your manifestings is coming through. And you guys did that workshop with me yesterday. What did God say? It's like dreams coming true and things, wishes granted, things like that always occur. So I don't know which one it was from. I don't know what it is. They will not tell me. I'll look at that in a minute. So let's see what the cards have to say. So what's interesting, Amy, is they're having me pull the masculine deck. I feel like you are a little bit out of balance. With the logical mind. So it's like the masculine thinking, right? Like the logical mind. And they want you to drop in just a little bit more. So if you're seeing a lot of synchronicities, Amy, I would use them as a way to drop in. So that's what they would do to me too. It was like every hour I was saying 111, 222, all these different things when I first woke up. Or when we come to different levels, or if we're in limbo in our ascension, they will give you more numbers, not just as a message, but as a way to drop in. Okay. And sometimes they will happen quite often. And it's not just like, hey, I've got a message for you. It's more like, hey, take this time to get out of your logical mind because maybe you're thinking too much. Okay. And I know for a fact you're getting nudges. And then I know for a fact you analyze the shit out of those nudges. The reason I know for a fact is because they're adamant at telling me this. Okay. And I can't make up the cards I just pulled for you either. Work through your fears, girlfriend. Okay? Let that shit go because there is no fear except for fear itself. The thing about fear is it's false. It's a falsehood. It makes us change our pathway. Okay? It is designed for ego. It was designed for survival in a different world. It's not like you're going to physically jump off a cliff. It only feels like that, they're saying. Okay? So, work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. Ooh. If these messages resonate with any of you other than her, they're for you. Here we are again. Emotions are running high. I said that yesterday. What was it, yesterday? I did a video on here where I was crying. And because I'm like so sad over my twin flame. But emotions are, I couldn't help but cry. And emotions are running high. Okay. Especially this time of year for you. I feel that in a very big way. They are definitely running high. Okay. And that's a super moon. That means there's a lot of powerful shifting going on in your physical self, in your reality, and in a spiritual way. Okay. Like a big time. All right. But they are saying this is that logical mind again. Okay. And Sagittarius, my daughter is a Sag. Oh my God. They can have these irrational bouts of anger and emotions. It's nuts. With our logical mind, it has us look at a small picture. And we come up with these scenarios that if I do this, if I do that, everything's going to crumble. Look at the bigger picture. Okay. You create those scenarios when we do that. And that's what keeps us in that structured environment that will be crumbling as we ascend. 555. 5555. It's all about changes, switching timelines. Okay? There is a bigger picture to be looked at here. Emotions are running high. They're not just yours. You're feeling it in the collective, but also for ourselves, especially this time of year and with the healings you've been going through with me, because you work with me every week as it is. So you're transitioning a lot. Okay? So you just got to work through the fears. And what I do best, and probably sometimes to my detriment, but really not really, because it makes me who I am, is I tend to jump in. I don't dive in because I always talk about that. I have a bad neck. If I dive in, I'm afraid I'm going to break my neck. I don't dive in head first. I jump in feet first. I don't think about things all the time. And a lot of times that helps. Okay, that's what got me through my ascension and all the stuff I was doing too. In a spiritual realm, we can't think about things all the time. There is a balance between logical mind and spiritual mind. There is a balance. But it's hard to find that balance when we are still, how do I say this? Concerned about things that are no longer something to be concerned about. And that's how they wanted me to say it. So I hope that makes sense. Because again, if there's things going on and we're being nudged to do something, the reason why we're being nudged in that time frame is because everything is going to line up for you perfectly. It's going to benefit others as well as you in magnificent ways. And it's like the max abundance pathway. Okay, does that make sense? And sometimes in our logical mind, we're like, that makes no sense. But it does. Okay. Think about the workshop we did yesterday. Like the first thing I said is it cannot be explained in the logical mind. And if we use logic through any of that, it would have been like, what the hell just happened? Okay. And like Cheryl would say, she's been coming in a lot lately. Is that ride that wave? That's the same thing that she's talking about. Allow the wave to guide you and take you, but make sure you stay on top. Okay. Perfect. All right. Gigi's right away. She's like, I'm here. She knew she was coming up. She knew it. Okay, Amy. But I hope you wrote the messages down from your dad because he left my energy and I don't remember what he said, but I'm totally curious about hearing about them. Okay? Like I totally want to hear about them. So let me know. And if it happens by tomorrow, that'd be great too, because I'll see you tomorrow too. All right. So Gigi is already ready to go. Gigi, for you, it's my shaman deck. Just bear with me just a second. So I'm going to get through these and shuffling these back up. One-handed shuffling, it's like, it takes me a minute, but I shuffle them really, really good. I have mastered this. I have mastered this stuff. By the time my arm is out of this cast, I'm not going to know what to do with both arms anymore. Like I'm becoming ambidextrous in a major, major way. Let me just shift into my tea. Hang on. This is my Beatles cup. When I was 19, I had ambitions of working in the music world. And so I managed Sam Goody. Some of you may not have ever heard of Sam Goody. It closed down. It was bought out by something or other. I don't remember what, but I managed Sam Goody. And it was a bad job for me at 19 because I would spend all my money in the music store. And this was one of them. So I've had this cup since I was 19. It's my Beatles cup. I love this cup. All right. I hear somebody like, isn't that a collector's thing? Why are you drinking out of it? That's like my dad. Like, don't open the box. Like, wait, if I don't open the box, I won't get to enjoy it. I have a weird mind with that. It's like we only live one life. All right, Gigi. Hang on a sec. So it's weird because when I get into your energy, Gigi, I'm hearing like in a couple different directions, and I can't make sense of what they're saying. And why is all this baby booming stuff coming through? Is there like a baby boy coming your way in the family? Or do you not know if it's a boy? Cat's out of the bag on that one. If so, I'm seeing a brand new baby boy. Gigi. Grandbaby-ish thing? What's going on there? Do you have a new grandbaby on the way? Are you aware that you might have a grandbaby on the way? And if you are, do you know it's a boy? I don't know. All I know is I feel baby boy. And I'm usually damn spot on with those things. So that's pretty interesting. Hang on a sec. I'm shuffling the shaman. They're wanting me to shuffle the shaman deck again. So just because I don't know what's going on. I'm in your energy and I'm hearing over here and I'm hearing over there. And there's like a lot of gossip going on around you. And I'm like, shush, I can't hear either one of you. I can't hear none of you. It's not making sense. But you have definitely opened up a portal. Have you been calling in more spirits to assist you, to communicate with you? I feel like you've definitely opened up some, like Pandora's box is going on here. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to clean your energy a little bit, Gigi, but I need you to say yes. Because I feel chaos. I feel chaos in the midst. The midst. There's too much going on. Do you know what I'm talking about? I won't make them go away. I just need to clear. It's up to you. I don't have to clear your energy. But what it's going to do is put calm in the storm. Give them order. Like, listen here. One at a freaking time, please. And maybe the most important first. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if there's a delay. I got to wait for your response. And okay. I mean, I know you did the workshop with me for mediumship, and I know that opened up a floodgate as well, but I mean something more like you've actually asked for like a whole bunch of things to come your way. Like you have opened up for a reason, but we're just going to bring balance to the disorder. Does that make sense? I don't know if there's a delay why I'm not getting a comment from you. I will wait before I even look at your cards. You're shifting timelines as well. Oh, okay, that's right. I totally forgot about that. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. Okay. All right. So we knew there was a baby boy. That's definitely in your energy. It has not gone away. I totally forgot about that, though. That was like a while ago. Thank you for remembering these things because I surely do not. But what about the I hate to say this because I know you're not doing it and it's not intentional and it's not negative energies, okay? But it's almost like when we play with a Ouija board. Please don't do that. I would never recommend to do that. If you want to talk to spirit, just freaking ask, okay? But it's like, and I'm just saying in general, for anybody watching this, I do not recommend Ouija boards. They are not a good thing. I'll repeat that over and over and over again. I don't care who makes them. I don't care with what intention they make them. And you can go ahead and say, well, they're just a tool like tarot cards. No, they're not. They are a portal into a realm I don't want to go in. Okay. But I feel like almost like you stand in a mirror and you call in for more. It's like, I'm open for you. Come my way. So like when we use a Ouija board, it's like we open the door and the floodgates go. And that's kind of what I feel like is happening. Okay. Yes, she says. All right. So if it's okay with you, we are just going to bring calm into the order of what's going on here. I get you want to be an open vessel. I don't want to take that away. But I am going to bring calm into the storm and tell everybody to calm their shit down is the best way I can explain that. Because the only thing they will do is drain you and you're going to get emotionally heavy and have a hard time deciphering what's coming your way. Okay? This is very, very interesting, Gigi. So before I read you the cards I gave you, holy shiznit, there's 1, 2, 3, 5s in it as well. I am going to bring calm into your energy, and I'm going to ask them that they come through one at a time and only for the highest and best necessity at the time. Okay? So not to stop them, but for highest and best healing purposes and like one at a time, like God dang file in line, right? Because I feel like you're like, all these things are coming at you right now. So it's just like, I just want to make sure, I know you're grounded from yesterday completely through and through. And this would also make sense for the cards that I just pulled from you because you did the workshop with me yesterday. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. So let me they want to put a bubble around you of mirrors, okay? So that you can tell what is of you and you can tell what is of others so that you can decipher messages properly coming in or going out. This is important because if I don't do this, it's going to get overwhelming and you might shut them out, okay? And I know that's not what you want. And so I'm just going to calm the storm. And this is a proper way for you to see what's of you, what's of them, and to allow yourself to be more in control of that, okay? Because it is almost like we open the floodgates. And I feel like you do it with mirrors. Mirrors are very relevant to you. I don't know why those are sometimes portals, but they are. You might even see reflections in mirrors at times. It's absolutely spirit. Okay. So I am starting to see them now fall in line, and it's quite a long line. And what's interesting is they fell in line in like height order. Like shortest first to tallest in the back. Like, there you go. And so what I want you to always do is only call forth what is needed at highest and best at that time. All right? Instead of like 20 messages all in one. Because I couldn't handle that. So that's the first thing we did. Okay? Be a little more in control of that energy and just call in for highest and best and what's needed at the time. And you can absolutely tell them, hey, back off right now. I want a nap. I'm eating my lunch. Can you leave me alone? Okay. Gain a little more control of the spiritual realm. It's super important for you. Also, because you did the workshop with me yesterday, this makes a lot of sense. Okay. You, girlfriend, are going through a deeper awakening, and that makes sense why the floodgates opened up. Okay. It was also 3:33 when I was saying that. Vanishing mirror, ego, sublimation. Okay. Right, Angela? I love these messages. And they're so just like crazy in sync and the numbers and stuff. Holy shmoly. And Angela, if you want a message too, you can get another one. I'm just going to do them because they were in my workshop first. I know I kind of gave you one already, but that's okay. Vanishing mirror, ego sublimination. Wow, I can talk, I promise you. Vanishing mirror, ego sublimination. This is further awakening. This is further ascension. That's truly what that talks about. And it makes a lot of sense because we were all in the workshop yesterday and we know what's coming for the planet as well. Like that stuff was crazy. And I believe yesterday you had mentioned that it was very intense for you. So this is not surprising me at all. Dust devil moving out of stagnation. Okay, so this is further development. This is further movement, further awakening going on. Parts of yourself that have not been active are being activated. Then we have something very interesting. Spirit of the river, movement toward adventure. Okay, what this talks about too is allow the river to take us places. Okay, this is about allowing the flow of the river to take you away. Calgon, take me away. I don't know why that old commercial just came in my head. That's an old commercial. I've never even used Calgon. I don't even know why that came in my head. But it's surrendering on a deep level, isn't it? Because it's going to take us into adventures and growth and moving out of stagnation. And they want you to remember something. So this card is coming up interesting for you. So normally when I get this card, I'm like, beware of your thoughts. 111. Galactic mushroom. Being the fungus among us, right? Whenever I get this card, that's what I think about. It's about being the fungus among us. But for you, what they're actually telling me is you are picking up everybody's everything and you want to solve it. You want to solve it and you want to solve it completely. That's interesting. See? But the problem with that is you will drain yourself completely. First of all, we can't heal everybody. Nobody can. Not even me. And it's unfortunate because we all want to, right? But the thing is you can plant seeds. And if you ask for a boundary, boundaries are really important for you. Just like we did in the beginning. I had to put mirrors around you for a reason. That's to give you boundaries. Because I feel like you're super excited to be coming into all these discoveries. And you are trying to go with the tides, but in a way that you're also controlling them and allowing too much to come in. And you're feeling everybody's everything. And I feel like this also relates to your kiddos. Because what Spirit is telling me is you cannot solve everything for everyone. Sometimes we have to let them figure things out also on their own because it will put you into a place of detriment. And this is something I learned when I first woke up too. You better believe when I was fully in that energy of my Kundalini awakening, people would flock to me like a flame to the fire, like whoo, moth to the flame. And I was like, at first, overwhelming myself so much, I shut down. And this is happening to you with everybody's energy because either A, you're related to them and they might be even miles away, but you're still picking up on it because you want to help everybody. Or B, you're picking up people within a 5-mile radius of you very, very, very easily now. So be mindful that you're checking in. Are these my thoughts? Are these my feelings? Or are these somebody else's? Especially since all the spirits were like, blah, 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 blah. She hears us. She wants to help us. We're going to jump on that train. Be very mindful because you are going to get burnt out. And then you're going to end up hurting yourself again, spiritually and physically. Okay? You are one individual. And we cannot always save the world, but we can save a lot of people if we manage our energy properly. So I want you doing self-check-ins. Is this my energy or is this somebody else's? Is this something I need to deal with now? Or is it just something I'm feeling? Okay, because you are that sensitive, especially now. And making sure that you ask for things to be of the most highest light possible and of necessity at the time. That is how you're going to gain that balance and be able to deal with what you can deal with. Also, keep in mind, sometimes all we can do is plant a seed. 4, 4, 4, 4. There's lots of 4s in that one, and 5s in your cards too, which is divine guidance, supported change, and switching timelines. So it's a very deep layered message. Did we get it all? Because I'm starting to fade out. And again, that baby boy is in your energetic field big time. And that's funny that that's not the first time that has come up. I love that. And I forgot all about that. So thank you for reminding me. Validations, I would say. Here we go with singing again. Please don't copyright me. Shit. I don't even know what I'm singing. So I need my own theme song, and I'm going to coin that crap because I own my name. I own the rights to my name. The thing is she said, right on. Okay, Gigi. The thing is that I create the binaural beats from the gate. Like I start with a blank slate, I channel them, I create them, and I pay for them. I pay for the rights, I post the licensing to it, pay for the rights to use the songs that I use, post the licensing to those, and the videos. The only ones they can truly copyright me on are the other day when I played that song. That's about it. And maybe when I sing sometimes. Yet they're copywriting everything I'm doing right now. Copyright claiming it. And it's like, I own my name, first of all. It's a DBA. I own everything I do. And if I do any pictures of the missing persons, it's off the Google. So the ones that are public. So I'm not sure what to do there. My ears are ringing something fierce. Malachi just stepped forward and gave me a beautiful message. I don't know if I should share it. He said no, but it was something I needed to know. And so I'm just acknowledging that. And I'm going to put that in my pocket. Okay? That's that. All right. So now, who was next? I stated Holly, Amy, and Gigi. Was that it? And then we have Angela. Was that it? There was somebody from Facebook who was going to come, and she was like, I'm not hearing anything. And I told her, be there at 2:30. So I don't know what happened to her. I keep telling people, if you want free stuff, my YouTube is filled with all this free stuff, right? Right? Free music to heal and learn, free meditations from day one. And I'm going to repeat again, the meditations on my channel, minus the twin flame ones, be mindful of those because one of them was divine intervention. That's interesting, Gigi. So it was probably not yours. And that's a really good validation for you right there. Very good validation for you right there that it was not yours. And that's what you were tuning into. But like my mantras, all of these things that are on here. Oh, Shakti is my guide now. And I have channeled a mantra with Shakti. Like she's a major, she is like the embodiment of all goddesses. She was powerful as hell. Aw, thanks, Angela. And so I found that interesting that she is now coming through to be my guide for this next year. And she did call me a queen. And she said, my job coming forth in this next year is to bring everybody into the alignment they need to be in. And we are talking everybody. That was meaning the world. So it's going to be interesting to how I'm going to do it and what's still coming. Because the moment I think, oh, we're done, they're like, ha, 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 ha. Think again. You're not done. You're not dead. I'm like, oh, okay. All right. If you say so. Hey. All right, Angela. I think I got everybody else that wanted one. What you want, girlfriend? Do you want another message? Or are you good with what I gave you about the fact that your well definitely needs to be looked at? You know that now, though. Your water and lymphedema is going on. Yep. See. Yep. Angela too, and Gigi. See, you guys. There is no veil. I can't reiterate that enough. Everybody around Halloween was like, "Oh, the veil is thin. It'll be back." No, it won't. I killed that shit. That's what the mass awakening is. Okay. It's not coming back. Right? Isn't that awesome? The veil is not coming back. So yes, there was multiple portals open, Angela. Okay. But I'll tell you, Angela, because you haven't done my workshops with me. I opened all the portals. We opened up the Golden Gate portal. We opened up all the pyramid portals. I can't even count how many portals I've opened up at this point, you guys. If anybody's done my workshops, do you guys remember? And does anybody remember the list of all the pyramids? They're like fading out of my memory as I speak. Like it's just been so much work that I've done over these last couple years. But yesterday, we brought down Christ light. Like that's not a joke. Oh, Amy, maybe you found your power. I'm sorry. That's not funny. It's funny, but it's not funny. So your dad said you found something today. I'm just saying. It just may be that maybe you're coming into that power. I don't know. It also just may be that we need to take some time out and take that salt bath. Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like it's just educational. That's kind of why I want to go over them. They are very educational. And if, oh, that's awesome, Angela. I love hearing about that. That's so cool. I can't wait. Congratulations. That's going to be amazing. But with the pyramids, like we did Machu Picchu, I did one in Brazil. I did one in Nicaragua was one of the end ones. I did one in Taiwan. And these are activating these pyramids, which I didn't even know they existed. And I did them in my workshops, and then I would talk about them on here. There was some Fiji. There was one in the Atlantic or the Pacific. I can't remember which one now. I undocked some spaceship that was in like the Pacific before I could do some of these works. Oh, wow, Amy, that's awesome. Yeah. She said that's crazy, isn't it? Oh, wow. That's quite a bit over budget. That's so crazy, but that's okay. I mean, I don't know. If you got it, you got it. It'll be okay. Remember, money's energy. And so call that shit back in, right? I call back what I spent times 3, okay? Or times 33. Raise that shit. I do. But we opened the Golden Gate portal. Now I've brought Christ light down, and all these were done in steps over the last 2 years. It's not a joke. Almost 3 now. Some of the beginning of my awakening was me learning and me waking up and me healing. So it's not been the full 3 years. It's been about 2.5 years that I've been doing this work for the ascension. One of them was me going to the White House. I actually travel in the daytime. It is not remote viewing. It's actually my vessel going. Yeah, this year is so short. You'll get it done. I really do think you will get it done. But I've done so many things that I'm now so thankful they were recorded and witnessed, because I'm forgetting a lot of them. I know we cleared Mount Shasta on November 11th of last year. And then we cut off life support to California completely this year. I did. I saw that in the map, in my head, in my work. I raised Atlantis by sitting on Saturn. We changed the root chakra from Shasta to Lake Titicaca. I built a pyramid of my own by Lake Titicaca. It was a white pyramid, and at first it looked like a little baby pyramid, and then it kept growing. I released some kind of light codes from near Lake Titicaca back to the sun. Then we rotated the sun, and then I kept bringing her light back to the earth. I undid the moon, which knocked out the satellite that they were controlling with it, which might be why our weather is so freaking wonky now. Like, I don't know if they're able to control it anymore. I'll just say that. I undid the falsehood of time. Like, there was a lot. So when you're tapping into these portals, you could say, which one? The Sphinx, 4444. The Sphinx was the portal of time. So I've never recognized these things. As I said, I had a psychology degree, a medical degree, a single mom, worked really hard. Yeah, it's been epic, Angela. And all these are in workshops that you can actually, I have it all recorded, and we did it in my workshops over this last year. And so when they say it's biblical, it's biblical. Okay. The things I did blew my mind. I tried to even stop it subconsciously. At one point, I put the Atlantic crystal into my solar plexus and blew that out. Angela, when I had my awakening, I lost my job, and I've never lost a job in my life. And I cried and I panicked, and Spirit said, shh, don't panic. And then it was last Christmas or Christmas before. It was right at Christmas time. And I'm like, oh my God, now what am I going to do? I've never lost a job. This is my career. And Spirit was like, shh, we're going to teach you. But the truth is, that's all I've been doing. It is all I've been doing nonstop for 2 years. And then the only thing I missed and got messed up on was the twin flame journey. But that was because it was not my free will that was going against that. And so that's the only thing that got thrown off out of this whole entire time of me not knowing what I was doing. So when I look at it, I'm very proud of it. I'm very proud of who I am and what I've done. And my troopers for going through all my workshops with me. They were crazy, insane, and mind-blowing stuff that once we processed, some of us got even scared doing it. I'm not going to lie. It was a lot. But when you talk about I was doing this nonstop, I've been doing this nonstop. I gave up my life. Literally gave up my life force for this ascension, to where it even gave me a swollen, enlarged heart. And when did I find that out? It was in June. I think it was May or June I found out, because I used my Kundalini energy and I moved these things in the earth. And people told me I'm like not normal. And I knew that, but I didn't know what it meant. God told me I wasn't normal, and I got mad. Yeah. Nope. But see, that's the first thing I talked about, Angela, when I got on, is a lot of people are actually missing the mark for trusting Spirit. So we all signed up for certain things to do that take part on this journey, and we're not just affecting ourselves. It's like those contracts. And I hate going back to the twin flame, but that's my biggest example. And when we don't listen to Spirit for these things that we signed up to do, that's why you get those nudges. It's you created it. You signed up for it. You agreed to it. And unfortunately, there is, that's so cool. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people not listening to that nudge. And that's what Spirit said when I first came on. And sometimes we get a rude awakening in those cases, and karma sets in, and that's what really makes us start going. But, it's just important to listen to them. Because if I didn't, it would have affected the whole world in a bad way. Because if this ascension didn't go the way it was supposed to, it was going to go down another way. Do you understand? Because of what's happening, they're going against free will. They're using fear, and that's not God's will. It's not, I don't care who you are. That's not God's will. God does not judge, but God doesn't like all of our souls being taken away and the light to be snuffed out because of lies and because of fear. And it is very biblical. It absolutely is. It's all been recorded and strategically planned out through the last 2.5 years. It is not just me saying it. I had to wake up to these things that I was doing, then I was already doing them. Big time. And it blew my mind. And I'm like, I'm crazy. I even gave myself psych evals. I'm like, I have to be crazy. And they're like, no, you're not. Look at the evidence. And I'm like, sons of bitches. Like, it's very real. And not only was I seeing it, I had so many witnesses along the way. And that's what even made it more real. And then even up to Sean, who was not spiritual, he was biblical. He grew up in a religious family. And he was even like validating the stuff I was doing and saying, and I had no idea that they were real. And he's like, Brianna, that's this. And I'm like, oh my God. to in these end ones in beginning of August, I freed Jesus' soul. I saw how he died. Yep, see, Amy, she witnessed all of this over the last couple of years. Me too. You guys are my tribe, right? You guys are warriors. And you are going to be recognized for that. I told somebody else that the other day too. Don't think we've done this all in haste. Because we haven't. And it is going to be on a big stage eventually for who we are and what's happened. Because just like Spirit has said, there's going to be a time where nobody can deny any of these things. And they're going to know who did them. So, they've been prepping me for that. And I've said that for a little while. Because at first I was like, no, shut down. I don't like a lot of people. I don't like being judged, because we all have been. And it's a harsh world that we're coming from. But the last few things I've done is opening the Golden Gate portal and seeing Jesus being set free and how he died and processing his soul. It was gosh dang not on the cross. And that's the thing, is he did not die for our sins, y'all. He died in people sinning him, basically. He was murdered. He was murdered in a very painful, bad way. I talked about that on my video. There were witnesses to me doing it. I didn't know it was coming, by the way. It just came out of the blue. I was doing a Patreon workshop. That's how all these came through, workshops. And I saw him. I saw him clear as day, as when he was alive, not as an angel, or not like I see him when he does healings. I saw him alive. He was dirty. He had that white shawl on with a belt, and he had sandals on that wrapped up his ankles. And he was hungry. He was very hungry. And John the Apostle. So when I first processed it, I'm like, he ate and drank. It was both things. So he poisoned the little food and the wine or whatever it was he was drinking. I didn't get specifics on that. I just know he was hesitant to take it at first. So he had a bad feeling, but he was very hungry, and he trusted John the Apostle, but he had a bad feeling. And I know that because I was with him. I saw him. I felt it, just like I process every other soul. So when I do these missing persons, I'm processing what happened to them as well. They're very heavy, which is why with a couple of them, I couldn't help but cry and cry and cry. With Jesus, I cried for a good, I don't know how long it was, 10 minutes, because I felt him being poisoned. It hurt very, very, very badly. It felt like my stomach was literally being eaten alive. Then I saw myself bleeding out of my eyes and out of my skin, which is why he did have blood everywhere. That's why you get the depictions of the blood out of his eyes. That was real. But it was from being poisoned, from what I called, arsenic or something like that. I can't remember what I said. It's in the video. Because it was recorded. I thought I was just doing a workshop for my Patreon members. And this is what came through. And after I processed the pain he felt, it was not good. It hurt so bad. And I could cry talking about it now. And I cried and I cried. And I'm like, did that really happen? And then they told me there was only 10 apostles, not 12. So I don't know if he was claiming to be the 12 apostles, or if they were unwritten in there, or if they were just false altogether. I don't know. There was only 10 apostles, and John the Apostle is who killed Jesus, and he poisoned him. It wasn't arsenic. I don't remember what I said. It was something like that, but I can't remember if that was exactly right. But I can tell you how it felt, and it took him about 20 minutes to die, in a very painful way. And then they drug him across the desert on the cross. Okay. So I did see that. They actually put him on and drug his dead body across the desert. And so, but as far as dying for our sins, no, he did not. He wasn't supposed to die that day. And then they tried to benefit from that gain. Okay. That's what I got. Once I got that, I saw his soul being set free, and he got a flower in the Garden of Eden. It was the most beautiful white flower I've ever seen. It's magnificently large, and every time I go to the Garden of Eden in my meditations, I see his flower. And I'm going to be honest with you. I have not seen Jesus. I have felt his energy a couple times in my healings, but I have not seen him until today. after we brought down Christ's light yesterday. Now when I see him, he's large, he's glowing. He was like peeking in from the clouds, and he's happy. He's free. And I bawled today when I saw him. Amy said she saw him yesterday too during the workshop. But before that, I wasn't seeing him as much since I set his soul free. And so the Bible talks about the return of Christ. Well, it happened, okay, in a very big way. And that was my workshop yesterday. And there were supposed to be a few more people in that workshop that refused the call. Me too, Gigi. I'm so grateful for you guys too, because I wouldn't have been me without all of you. Not only did I do it, but we all put our energy in together. Okay. And it just wouldn't have been the same without all of you guys. And it wasn't an easy calling to follow. And that's what frustrates me so much on my twin flame journey. I'm like, doesn't he get to this point that he's hurting people in a very bad way? And a lot of people, not just me. That's what makes me cry. Not only that he didn't love me, but that there's a lot of people that are suffering. The twin flames didn't come together, and the 144,000 didn't get to bring down that light. And so, but it's done. Christ's light came down, and now I see Jesus again, and he's larger than life, and he's glowing like I've never ever seen him glow before, ever. He used to just look like me and you, or an angel coming in without wings. He's never had wings. He's just a Lord. He's not. But the funny thing is, you guys, is I don't know if you've processed that, but I realized it wasn't Jesus's light. It was God's light. It was literally God's hand and God's light went through our vessels and down into the earth. But it was Christ's light. Okay. So put that one together, right? All I can tell you is what I did and what I saw, but I had major confirmations today. I never heard of ashrams before. There are a few of them. The masters use them. They are strategically placed like in like ley lines or energy portals. And even on earth, people do that. And we went up to one in the heavens. Like we went to heaven. We went to God. We really did. The ashram of the gods. And it was mind-blowingly powerful. And so if you think now the world is the same, better be careful, because it's not. It's not at all. And so when I tell you I gave up my life and I risked my life for humanity, that is the case. It is absolutely the case. I gave up my entire last 2 years since my 3 years now since my awakening, following spirit, doing things every single day pretty much. Every nudge they gave me, I did it. I didn't understand it. I was being judged. I was hurt a few times energetically, very badly over this process, especially in the twin flame thing with the fallen angels, which they finally cleared my energy all the way yesterday. And I'm not going to lie, his higher self is still stepping over him because I'm not supposed to die, right? I had a big purpose in this, and we still do have a very big purpose, and those twin flames still have to unite. That's the only thing that has not been completed. Yeah, it's been, and it left me with an enlarged heart, which I'm so thankful I was able to heal that. And I did. I had an EKG again, and it was normal. And they told me after my last 3 or 4 with enlarged heart ones, they will never go back to normal, that I was just a ticking time bomb. And they wanted me to be on medications. And I'm like, no. I'm like, so you're telling me it'll never go back down? They're like, no. People usually walk around with this until they die. And I'm like, screw you. I'm not going to die. And I felt very ill. Actually, I swelled up from head to toe. I ended up in the hospital. This was like in June, May or June, when I finished a lot of the pyramids. It affected me physically. It was my life force that I use for these things, which is why when I do healings, I like an exchange, because people don't realize that I'm giving you my life force. Like I'm using my life energy to heal people, and then I have to recover. And when they donate, they're more likely to pick up what I put down. And this is also why I charge a little more for my healings. My hand's getting better. So that's another thing. I did a healing on it. They told me I would have to have surgery, that I would never be normal, that I wouldn't be able to be the healer that I was. They wanted to put a plate in my hand and a rod and it's like 6 bolts. And I did a healing, and the doctor said I taught her a lot. She said I was right about the surgery in the end, that it would have made it worse and prolonged it. And I get my cast off on January 4th. So I will only have had this cast on for 4 weeks in total. And I've done everything by myself. And I was not supposed to be by myself right now. So I'm very proud of myself. I have given up everything I was for humanity, everything I have been for my twin flame as well, because since August, when we were supposed to unite, I did those meditations and we started energetically combining. Hi, Amy D. You can get a message too, sunshine. When he did what he did and he left with a fallen angel, but he was giving her my light and it literally started killing me. This is what happened. I didn't understand what's going on. I was literally on my YouTube channel going, please help me. Please hear me. Please help me. And everybody was judging me. I didn't know what was happening to me. I had no idea. I didn't expect these things to occur. It's not like God's like, hey, this is coming and this is coming. Do this. It's not like that. Right? But ever since my twin flame thing and he left, Spirit specifically told me I cannot deviate. It is a really, really big deal, because when he first hurt me, I'm like, fuck him. And I left and I moved on. And that's why he and I split up to begin with. Okay. Because he wasn't nice to me. And as a female, single mom, that was my reaction to that. You know what I mean? But he wasn't healed. And I didn't know who he was. I mean, I kind of knew, but I listened to the wrong people big time, because I love this man. I love him with all my heart to this day. But Spirit specifically told me again, you know, I'm going to be honest. I used to like to smoke pot every now and then because that's what I would do. Plus I would feel the addiction. And if I did that, I would have been in big trouble. Spirit said, I cannot do that. I can't drink. And that's why when I got hurt, and I don't drink or anything anyways, but when I got hurt and they gave me medications, I freaked out. I'm like, oh my God, I just ruined that whole journey, because I'm not allowed to talk to another man. Sean came back into my life again and missed me. And he wanted me to come over and I had to tell him no. He brought me boxes to my door and I couldn't even open the door. I could not deviate in any way, shape, or form. I'm not allowed to be with anybody else, because in the twin flame contracts that we signed, that would literally be cheating and it would hurt him energetically. And I have been having to heal it all by myself. And so when you really consider the sacrifices that I've had to make for my twin flame, for all of the twin flame journey, for all the 144, but let alone for humanity, it's really big. And that's why today, yesterday, and since August, God has said, be very strong, because people need to know who you are. Because I almost died. I've almost died twice on this journey. That's why I know who I am is very real. What I've done is very real. Who my twin flame is very real. Because when he's with somebody else or he does something, I feel it. And Malachi will come in and tell me, he loves you. Don't deviate. And they've told me a few times he'll be back. But I'm still alone. And I was supposed to move, and all of a sudden I've still been here. And they've given me 2 evictions, and I'm still here. And it's all by the grace of God. And so I'm getting emotional because people don't know the sacrifices that I've put forth for this ascension, for humanity, and for my twin flame, even after he hurt me so bad. And I still love him. I'm still supposed to be with him. I can't be with anybody else. And if we don't come together, the twin flames don't come together, and they don't ascend and we don't ascend. So it's a big deal through the heartache. And literally, when he gave my light to a fallen angel, he did. I got a blood clot. I was crying. I was wailing it in the middle of the night. I didn't know what was happening to me. I would get in my car to try to leave to feel better. I was dying. I got a blood clot in my leg. My leg was black. And I can hear him calling me crazy. I can hear people talking about me. And Spirit even said on my channel, they're going to be surprised when they see all truths hit, because it was a lot of judgment. And I even lost a close friend who was spiritual because of judgment, and nobody understood what I was going through. It is very much so unconditional love, let me tell you, because I still pulled it together. I refixed the timeline. They're in my meditations on my YouTube channel. We did a divine intervention with one of them. And I had to be reborn in order to heal these twin flame journeys. So, and then I broke my hand, couldn't work. So I couldn't pay my rent, and I can't do Christmas for my kids. And he knocks my vibration so low that manifesting is hard sometimes. And that's the truth. And it hurts. And Spirit tells me all the time he loves you. And I have to still think positive. And then they'll tell me he's going to come and get you. He'll call and he doesn't. And that's my truth. And I try every day to forget about it just so I can be normal. But it's very hard because he's my soulmate and my twin flame. And we signed contracts together. And so if people think who I am is a joke, they are highly mistaken. They have another thing coming, because this ascension is very, very, very real. And I have literally given my life more times than I can count for it, in more ways than anybody I know would. I'm telling you, I sacrificed everything that I was for God, just like Jesus did. And he gave his life as well for it, in a very painful way. So that's apparently something I needed to get off my chest and release, because I did. And it's very real. And I don't think people get what I've been through and what I've done and who I am and what it cost to do it. And I did it for humanity. No, I cannot break the contract, Angela. He and I had a big purpose in the ascension. He is actually a part of the leader of 144,000. He is a gifted soul, and I was supposed to be healing him for the last 2 years. He broke the contract, which is why God has forgiven him. They said that yesterday. And I've had to forgive it because it hurts me in every way that he does it every day. But I don't think he understood it either. But the fact is if we don't come together, we don't ascend, and neither do the twin flames that don't come together, because that's what frustrates me the most. And every day I'm like, doesn't he get that he's hurting more people than just me? Like, there's a lot. If you watch the twin flame messages and stuff, it's not good. The divine masculine, he's a leader of it. And that's the truth. And I wish that he would understand that every day, that he doesn't just hurt me. He hurts the whole entire divine masculines. And so it's not just about him and me. And Spirit tells me he loves me. He's had a lot of healing to do. And I know that he lies about me and it hurts, but I will never break that contract. I will never break that contract. It is signed in front of God. It is a part of God's will, and it was our purpose. He has a big purpose. And I personally will not deviate from that. I haven't been with anybody since he told me he loved me on August 13th. That's what sparked my awakening into the twin flame journey. So I wasn't really aware of it until then. And I know he wasn't either. And so I don't blame him. It's lessons learned. And unfortunately, you could call it the devil. That's what some twin flame messages will channel about. But it was that he led in darkness. And that's what threw off the ascension. And that's what almost killed me the second time. But with that being said, I cannot unlove him. It's a love that is deeper than the oceans. I don't blame him at all. He has my heart. And he always will. Even if I don't understand why he doesn't get that he's affecting a whole bunch of people. It's not just me, and I think that's what weighs heavy, because even if you look at my birth chart, my astrology chart, I'm a humanitarian. My chart even shows that I will do everything for the sake of humanity. That's what I was brought here to do. So when I tell you I'm not a starseed and I'm not a light worker, I'm part of the gods of time. That's what they tell me. They told me again yesterday. They told me again today. They called me the chosen one in several workshops that I've done with other people, not the ones that I'm putting out, but I've done a few with other people to heal and things because I'm doing it all on my own. And I always hear I'm the chosen one. I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean? I don't get that. 555. And so it's more than I can fathom, let alone more than what other people can fathom. And it gets to me when people are like, oh, you're like everybody else. No, I'm not. They're not seeing it. But it's not for me to worry about. Spirit tells me everybody will know who I am. And it will be while I'm alive. And the twin flame unions have to unite. God says they still have to unite. Otherwise, 555, a lot of people will die. And that's the truth. And I pray that he just asks and he will see that. Because Spirit won't lie to him. Only the darkness he's attached to will lie to him. And that was a lot of releasing. So thank you. Apparently I needed that. So with that being said, Amy D, if you want a message, because I saw you were here. If you're still here and you want a message, 5555 again, I will gladly give you one. And I would love to hear how you're feeling since the workshop yesterday. And I'm sorry I went on that. Ask questions and I got to give the answers. And those were honest answers. And if you want proof, the funny thing is I have all the proof in the world over the last 2.5 years, let alone witnesses, let alone it's all recorded. And a lot of it unfolded on this channel for a lot to see. And that is what it is. Talk about judgment. Spirits even called people out for doing that. And I lost a very close friend to me who was spiritual as well because of judgment. So just is what it is. Talk about a sacrifice, right? Yeah. So, Amy D, are you still here? Do you want a message? I'd love to know how you feel from the workshop yesterday. When I actually had to take a half of an Excedrin earlier because my body was aching so bad. A couple of reasons. Because we brought down Christ's light. Oh, thank you, Amy. Thank you very much for that. Everyone should hear. That's what Spirit keeps telling me, is that it's time for people to know who I am. That's what they said to me today. So Shakti is my new guide. She is like all of the divine feminine energy all in one. She's very powerful. And Jesus was there with me and Ashtar. And those three were like, you've got to shine. Like everybody needs, they're going to know who you are. And I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, it is coming into that time. And I will gladly give you a message. Let me know if you want general or a specific. And I don't know about you, Amy, but I am feeling like a ton of bricks went through my body and I feel like I'm going to explode from the inside out. But they're also telling me to be mindful because everybody's going to start feeling that. It's ascension symptoms of the earth is no longer the same. Her vibration is extremely high. And yesterday we brought more sunlight to her and did all kinds of stuff. So everybody's going to have these physical symptoms either in processes or all at once coming forward. So be mindful of that. It'll be okay. It's just a lot of energy coming our way. The earth is no longer the same. And it was 333 when I said that. So do you want general or do you want a specific? Yeah. So is that what you want me to tune into and to why? I would gladly do that. I feel like there's some truth you're not telling yourself. Okay. General. I get to use this deck again with you. I love this deck. I don't get to use it very often. I have one I'd like to give away, and I said that to my Patreons, please, too. Yes, have those symptoms for weeks. Once. See, Angela feels it too. Yeah, so they're going to continue to get worse, let me tell you, because Christ's light really did come down, and we had to do it in such a way the earth didn't explode. That's the best way I could say it, because it was a lot. And when I brought that light down, so many souls had to be freed again, which I thought I did a lot, but so I had to process all those. And then the earth's blueprint changed. She is not the same earth anymore. And so we're going to feel that. All right. But I love this deck. Like I have an extra one for some reason when I ordered 555 again. When I ordered this deck, God, when I said that about my twin flame, I can only hope I didn't mess up that journey again. But the truth is, that's my truth, right? But they accidentally sent me two of the same deck. And so at 555 again, I literally have one that hasn't been opened. And so if not a lot of people have this deck, I'd like to do a giveaway of that one too. I love this deck, and I don't get to use it often. It's like my very feminine deck, I feel. It's beautiful. It's the Vintage Woman Wisdom Oracle. It's just awesome. And so I've been thinking about that again. I would like to just give it away sometime. So maybe I'll just do a little giveaway on it somehow. Think of something cool. Be like, hey, if anybody wants it, do this. And we'll 555. You guys, I'm scared. I hope I didn't hurt the twin flame journey again. You see what I mean? Like, it's a lot of pressure on my shoulders because it's a lot of people that won't make it. And I know Spirit has put a lot of things on pause, and that's partly what we've been waiting for on some of the ascension, which is also hurting more people. Because the more people get that V, it's not a good thing at all. Okay, let's look at it this way. Look at the flu V. It has never been a cure. Ever, ever, ever. It's maybe 10, 15, 20% effective, if at all. And they can't come up with it until they base it off of what went around the year before. So I ask you, how the heck did they have this V at the same time the thing came out, at the same time it's already been patented since 2017? I have a medical degree, and I'm like, what? Where is the logic in this one? And then I even saw Billie Eilish talking about, oh, it saved my life. A V doesn't do that for a virus. 555. That doesn't make any sense, even logically. But it's because they're pushing fear. They're pushing fear. They've locked us down. Everybody's afraid. They pushed it for a long time. They conditioned us through the movies they would put out and everything else. And when I go into people's vessels and they have the vid, not the V, but the vid, it is warfare. And that's what I hear. I hear it is warfare. It was man-made and it is warfare. So that's what it is. That's what I get, and that's what it is. Okay. And it's like logic went out the door on that one completely. I don't know where it went. There's zero, exactly, Angela. There is zero logic to it at all. And the more that we've had to wait on the ascension, the more kids are being forced to get it now. And that also breaks my heart in millions of pieces because it should be stopped by now. So unfortunately, our timeline did get off a little bit, okay? But the angels tell me all the time that they are working overtime. And so I hold space for that. All right, Amy D. And I can't reiterate enough that I love my twin flame. My heart is his. He's my soulmate. I've worked very, very, very hard to save his life and to save my own. And I will never, ever give up on him. And I will never stop waiting for him, even if I die in doing so, because it's what we signed up for. We are supposed to be together. I signed a contract with him, and it doesn't just affect us. Yes, 5555. I've been seeing tons of fives too, so I'm like, oh God, please tell me I didn't throw it off again. Please tell me I didn't push him away again. Although he's not here, what can I push away? But this is my anxiety it's created because I've begged for his help and he's never come. I have asked him to stop hurting other people and he's never come. And so anytime I talk about it, I get scared. But it's a big deal to me. It really is. And when I broke my arm, he never came. And so it is hard for me to believe he loves me, but Spirit tells me he does. And I have to do it not just for me and not just for him, but I've literally saved his life too. And I don't even know if he knows it. Wow, he almost took mine. So it's a big deal. And he's not aware of that altogether. He wasn't, at least then. And so I don't blame him. It's not to shame him. I love him very, very much so. It's a tragedy in the event of ascension, because why wouldn't things line up to take away that maximum change? Because a lot of things would have been forced off this planet at that time, which is what we needed. But it is what it is. And my ears are ringing like crazy. All right. Please, Lord God, tell me I didn't mess something else up with that, though, because my fear is now, and I don't do fear well, but man, it doesn't just affect me. And every day I see that the divine masculines still have not done anything to come together with their feminine, and the feminine's working really hard and hurting. It hurts me. It hurts me very, very badly. It's a big deal to me, and I try really hard every day. Okay. All right, Amy D. I know that you're feeling that too. You feel a lot of emptiness with that too. I do think you are a part of that journey. Okay, Amy D, are you hearing me? They are calling you a divine feminine. Have you asked? Because that's the first thing that I'm hearing. Okay. Well, you just got your answer, because that's the first thing I heard. Yes, you are a divine feminine, and you are feeling that void and that emptiness. Okay. But it's going to be okay. Okay. And see, this is also what breaks my heart. It's like, I don't think he realizes how he's in control of all those divine masculines. And until he steps in, they won't step in, unfortunately. And so it sucks. And there's only thing I can tell you is what we saw in the workshop yesterday. Yes, you are. The only thing I can tell you is what we saw in the workshop yesterday. Okay. And what did God say yesterday? It's fading, but I saw it. He said balance will be restored. Okay. And when God says something goes, I give my full faith. Okay. That's how I feel about it. Free will should always match our life's purpose. And so let's just give it space and time. But the best thing to do in the meantime is to truly learn to love ourselves more. Okay, which is hard to do when there's that empty feeling. It's like a major, major empty feeling. But let's just allow ourselves to love ourselves more. And eventually your soulmate will come into play. Okay. And that's not coincidental to where you were at that workshop yesterday. Okay. So that's another thing they're saying, Amy, is they want you to erase this out of your vocabulary. That was a coincidence, because there are no such thing. It is a heartbreaking feeling. I know. And I'm very sorry. And I will tell you right now, that is how all the divine feminines feel. Completely empty, completely devastated, completely lonely, and lost. And I've been working really hard, and that's all I can say. And I won't deviate. I can't even celebrate anything. I can't talk to any male. I won't deviate. And that's the truth. And so just know you've got a lot of people working this out. But they want you to remove the word. That was a coincidence out of your vocabulary, because there are no such things as coincidences. And unfortunately, that was one of the words that was used. I cannot make up these cards either. That was one of the words that was used to take away magic. Okay. So Angela says she does Louis Hay self-affirmations on YouTube. Please check those out. It works. Yeah, I do Wayne Dyer's and my own. Honestly, I create my own too. So yes, self-affirmations, affirmations of love, affirmations of abundance. And I even talked about those in my course too. Definitely look into those. Definitely use affirmations from everywhere. But also take out the word coincidence, okay? Because there was no such thing as a coincidence, all right? If we use that word, we take away all magic, all power. And then I have this card for you. Power. Okay? Power. Stand in your power, sunshine, even when it's really hard. Because I can't reiterate enough how special you are. How much of a big heart you have. I feel it every time I enter into your energy. You are a gifted soul. You are highly protected. Okay? You are highly protected. You are also a protector. So this is making me think of your kids as well. You are a mama bear and a force to be reckoned with, right? So that's interesting. Personally, I have a problem with subliminal ones, like the ones at nighttime, but I do raise my vibration before I go to bed. I love Hertz music when I go to sleep. So absolutely, if those are for you, please use them. Absolutely. Amy Angela's talking about the Lois Hay affirmations. Check them out. Definitely do. Personally, though, I can't at nighttime. They mess with me because I am so connected. I get dreams and I get things like that. The only thing I can have is maybe the Hertz music. Beyond that, I have to be very careful with what I'm listening to at night, even if it's positive stuff, just because it will change things for me. But I would recommend them if they work for you. But please stand in your power and know that you are protected and you are a protector. So you are absolutely gifted in that ability. And what that means is I want you to start looking into even putting bubbles around people. Okay, Amy? Because you have that ability. You have the ability to protect people and you are also protected. I'm hearing both of that. And so with your kids, instead of worry, I want you to put bubbles around them and send light into their heart. Okay? Like which one do you want me to show first? And they want you to have a sanctuary, a place where you feel like you can unleash all of your creativity, all of your light. Yeah, that's how I am too. Yep, I love the hurt stuff. I've thought about doing a subliminal one too. Maybe I will too. But yeah, make sure you have your sanctuary, okay? Especially being the mama bear protector. Our world is kind of always given up for our kiddos. And I understand that, when I first started doing my work at home and in my room, it was really hard for me to shut them out. It really just is. But I've gotten used to it now. I'm like, back the hell off of my space. This is my space. Give it to me. And that's okay, right? It's okay to have your own space where it's yours. And my kids know they can only come into my space with my permission. And they also know not to do things like touch my cards. They're just very tuned into that. They're like, oh, I don't want to touch it. They won't touch my crystals because they're mine. Okay. And you need that big time. And keep in mind, and this is how I feel with my twin flame journey. I love him so much. It's more than the deep blue sea. It's more than lifetimes. Not just this lifetime. Sorry about that noise. Apartments are great, especially this one. You guys, we don't even have heat here. Thank God we haven't had snow and stuff. Their heater went out in this whole apartment complex. But anyways, the only reason I'm stuck here is because of my twin flame. Eventually, I'm leaving this state. I'm like, come on, God, send me somebody who loves me and give me my money so I can leave. And they're like laughing at me. They're like, not yet. I'm like, ugh. Anyways, this card is making me think of that. It's like, even if there's challenges in this lifetime, when we have soulmates and we have twin flames, we have known these people for many, many lifetimes. It's not just one. Okay, look at it this way. When we make mistakes, it's about learning. We are a pure soul of divine light. And that's truly how I look at him. That's how I feel about him, even after what's happened. It's simply because we do things from wounds. We do things from convictions, like things we were taught as a child or lack thereof. And usually from holes in our soul. But we all truly stem from this. Innocence. Okay? We are all innocent to the core. We are all God's light. And he was literally giving his away as well and dying inside. And I just still want to love him. Okay? And so we also need to turn that unconditional love inward. Is that I am a pure, innocent soul. We all make mistakes, but we all come from the whole. We all have a beautiful, beautiful light that we just forget how to shine. I don't know if they're literally doing that intentionally or just hanging something like crazy, so forgive it. The last time I asked this guy to be quiet, he came up and cussed me out in front of my kids, so I'm going to do that. But we truly all have an innocent light that we come from. We are all a pure soul. We are all here to learn and to clear karma. That's what twin flame relationships are meant to do. Okay, so it's never an easy thing, by the way. When twin flames come together, it's never easy. That's why my job for the ascension was to clear the karma contracts and write new ones in God's light. Okay, so I will be damned if I create any more karma for that relationship. His karma is his own. Okay, and unfortunately, right, because he is a beautiful soul. He really, truly is. And I just can't wait for everybody to see that. That's the problem. And so that's what I'm feeling for you. It's like we allow our light to get dimmed and we forget how innocent we all truly are and how this cold, cold world makes us crumble to pieces. And we do stuff we don't mean to do. We say things we don't mean to say. And that's why grudges are horrible. That's why they talk about forgiveness in every way, because then it allows you to call back your power, okay? And stand in that innocence of the whole, because we are all one. Yeah. We are all one, and we are all a part of the collective whole, if you are of the light. Not everybody is, like that fallen angel that he gave my light to. She is, you could call her evil, right? But they don't like that word, just of the dark, okay? So not everybody's of the light. Some people are of the dark, unfortunately, and they are really good at manipulating your free will and making you see things that are not true and all this other stuff, okay? But for the most part, we are all truly innocent souls that come here to learn and hopefully to correct the holes of our souls. That's what Earth was designed to do. That's why the energy was so thick and so heavy, and we would get hurt a lot. Okay, and the world is changing out of that, you guys. It will no longer be that way. It will no longer be based in karma and all these kinds of things. And that's why if you've been called to do these things, you've been called to heal, you've been called to clear your karma. I once heard a few people tell me, I've already cleared all my karma. That's impossible, my dude, because we create karma very easily. There's a lot to clear, okay? Even I'm not perfect, my friends, you know? It's like, don't ever think you're done, and don't ever think you don't have karma, and don't ever think that we are all the same, because we are not. It's like I say all the time, I'm not a starseed and I'm not a light worker. We all tend to want to fit in and we want to be the same, and we put these expectations on ourselves. Well, I got to fit in with society. This is what they want me to be. Big F to society, right? I don't want to fit in. I've never fit in, and I don't want to fit in. And the more we try to fit in, the more we dim our own light. And that's the truth, okay? So be very, very, and this is all your message, but it's also one for the collective whole. Be very mindful that you don't ever dim that light. And this is why, like when Angela asked me, can't I just cut out that contract? Even if I could, I wouldn't want to. Because even what he's done with me, I love him that much. I would die for him. And I almost did. I just wish he felt the same way about me, and that he would stop hurting the collective whole. Because once he steps in, all the twin flames get to come together. Then more Christ light comes down. More love, unconditional love is what's going to come down through the twin flames. That's what they're telling me now. So it still has to be that the twin flames bring down the unconditional love. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. That's right. But we've been taught to fit in to that societal norm. And you want to know how many people are telling me, well, you better take the V for my sake. It's like, wait a minute, dude. You want to know who are actually getting sick and dying now? Let's hear the truth, shall we? Because the only ones that I see have the V. And so also what I've gotten from healing people with the vid, not the V, the vid, is that Tylenol and ibuprofen and aspirins are designed to make it worse. So if you get it, take zinc and vitamins only. I would stay away from your regular traditional medicines because it is a trigger for them to get worse. And that's what I've healed more times than once. That's what I've received. Again, logic has gone out the door. And make sure in this time, that's what Spirit was saying when I first got on, is that most people are not following their nudges. Most people are not listening. They're falling into that got to do what society wants me to do, where society as a whole will not be the same. And I don't know how many people are not going to make it through. My wish is that everybody can ascend, but the problem is that's against free will for some people. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Angela. Yeah, that's what's really sad, but I think it's more than 10%. They're just lying. So there's a lot of lying going on. I think there's more people that are not VE'd that they say. However, they are starting to push it further and further, and now they're creating more fear, and they're going to push more lockdowns. But it is a chemical warfare. Okay, so when you see these new things popping up, also when anybody gets the V, I see other people around them 555 getting sick from them being exposed to it. And so there's a lot more going on here that meets the eye. And I said for the first part of my awakening, don't take it, don't take it, don't take it. And I'm part of God. Like, we don't force anybody to do anything. A lot we'll be checking out, unfortunately, at this point, Angela. And the problem is we don't want more to check out with those twin flames and stuff. Right? Yeah. And there's been so many lies. Even medical professionals I know that speak up get fired. And so they're pushing that too. It's like, we will take your jobs. We will do all this kind of stuff. I do have hope and faith that some will be able to be healed, that some were like a placebo effect. I do hold that, and I do pray for that, and I do set that intention. World War Chemical 3 is also a spiritual warfare. And you can see that with my twin flame journey, that it's a spiritual warfare, because he literally let darkness into the ascension, and it almost killed me. And it really cut the ascension into a different path. I was able to fix that path and continue the ascension and still bring down God's light and stuff, but we're still missing a key piece, and it's him. And once he steps in, God's love comes down, unconditional love comes down and floods this place. All the twin flames unite, and that's the protection they're waiting for to get rid of everything else. And I know it sounds cuckoo, but it's real. And I'm not the only one. I'm not just talking about it. I'm doing the work, but there's other people that channel it. And so there's so many people channeling it and can confirm everything I've said and what you've seen unfold on my channel. So it's a chemical warfare through them. And also with the V, it's like when I go certain places, you can see certain people that take it, they totally change. It's like they spiritually go backwards in an awakening. Instead of awakening, they go to where they start like processing, shutting down. It's really weird. Like, there was this 20-year-old girl at one of the places I worked at, and that was when they first started saying, hey, take it. We'll give you an incentive. You'll get a $50 bonus. And I'm like, I'm not taking it. I'll quit. And she did. And she was gung-ho about her job. She loved these kids. She was really good about working with me and talking to me. And she was I loved this girl. She was like super awesome, super laid back, super in tune with her job. She worked very, very hard. She would even call me up. Hey, how you doing? You want to study with me? Because I had to retake my test. Like, went way out of her way. And I just got chills. And the moment she took that, I didn't tell her who I was or what I was doing. This is around the time that I did the removal of time meditation. I removed the false concept of time. Like 2 days later, after she got her V, I heard her start processing that. She was like, what is time? And she like started like waking up, and then all of a sudden started slowly going backwards. It's the weirdest thing I can describe to you. 555. She literally took the V. Then she started processing some spiritual things that were happening. She's like, what is time? What is the false concept of time? She's like, pfft. And I'm like, whoa, man, she's waking up. And I got all excited. Like, I could talk to her about this stuff. Then the next day, it was a little different. It was like she was processing backwards. She was almost having a reverse spiritual awakening. And so if you see people doing that, 1919, some of that's one of the V's that was no good. Okay. It's very, very bad. Not only that, she started hating her job. She started treating me like shit. She started not wanting to come to work. And we work with littles. Like we work with little kids who have autism at that center. And so it was a big deal. Like this was not her at all. She loved her job. She loved the kids. She loved talking to me about it. She loved helping me every which way she could. She would go out of her way, spend a lot of time. She was in her 20s. She didn't have kids. You know what I mean? She could give up all that time for her job. And she did. I was super impressed with her work ethic. And then she wasn't spiritually fully awake though. But when she got the V, it was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen. She started processing spirituality and then it like went backwards. So when I tell you it cuts you off of source, I have had the evidence it does so. Okay. At least the major ones. Some of them, like a handful of them, are a placebo effect, but which ones? Good luck with that. 22, 20, 22. So I do pray that we'll still get, because they go against free will, that we get to help in more ways than we can imagine. So I'm hoping it doesn't take everybody out. But right after that started happening, Spirit pushed me out of that job. I had the weirdest dream about that place. They literally shook the world and were like, get the hell out of there. And I'm like, okay. And I had to leave. And I was never supposed to deviate off of this path. But I listened to others and I thought I had to work. So that's kind of what happened there. And she was never the same again. She ended up hating her job, never coming back. It was sad. Aww. Yeah. So that was kind of my job, minus the mental institution. So one of the other jobs that I had, they didn't have autism and things like that. They were severe behavioral. These were kids everybody was afraid of. They had literally ripped one of the principal's cheek, like almost off, ripped her hair out. He punched her. Another one had severely hurt a nurse because his dad would put him in the mental institution in between because they didn't know what to do with him. His mom beat him so bad over the head that it would cause behavioral problems. Like I've worked with a lot of different kiddos and they would try to beat me up. And unfortunately, I'd have to do some holds. But after a while, these kids would respect me so much and I would never have any violence from them. They were still the most beautiful kids I could imagine. I had them graduating out of the program. It's a beautiful thing. It's what my degree is in. It's what I was doing before I had my awakening and I saved humanity, 22202. And now I can't go back to it because when my twin flame did what he did, I got super sick and they thought I had the V, 22212. And they made me take a test and I didn't, but now they're like, you have to get the V. And I'm like, no, I refused. And so it was really bad. Angela, another thing I worry about is how many are going to be orphaned going forward, because there are a lot of innocent ones. And I'm always like, I'll adopt some more kids. Shoot, I'll adopt some more kids. The guy I was with at the time, Sean, wanted kids. I don't know if my twin flame will, but he has a kid, at least one already. And I already do too, but I would be down to help kids my whole entire life. And part of what I want to do going forward is the same kind of a thing. So I think about those things going forward, how many are going to be abandoned and left behind. And how this is all going to transition through and through. It's a big question in my book because I came from that psychology degree and I worked very hard. I went to school for 5 years to do it, to have my awakening and then know what was coming. And then now I can't do that degree anymore. And so I'm a walking, living person that says, Spirit's saying this, I'm going to follow it. And they're telling me I can't be a leader if I don't either. It's like, how would I preach the same thing if I'm like, oh, I got to get that. I got to keep working. I got to do this. We can't create our reality when we can. 22333. Okay. And so I'm the walking example of that. It's very sad. And the thing is in some high schools here and even middle schools, they have like a V tent there. And if you're old enough, they won't get your parents' permission. They will just give your kiddos the V. So watch out. And they don't have to tell you. Yet we have to give our whole medical history if we want to deny it. Something's not right. Like it's just not right at all. And Spirit told me before I came on this live and yesterday before I did my workshop that there should have been more people there, but they're not hearing the call. There are some people who are just not taking this seriously and hearing the call. And that's because Spirit will never trump on 22,422. And yes, I did say that word. It's a word, not just a name, but look it up. Look up what that word means. But Spirit will never trump on free will. Only darkness will. Only a fallen angel or dark energies will make you have false free will or take that away from you or push fear, 22,444, to step on that free will. There's something very wrong with that. So it's no coincidence that that's happening while I'm also happening. And that it's God's will that the earth changes in a very big way. Because it is. The work I've done, I cannot make up. I even have that painting that I've showed you guys that was done before I woke up or before I knew who I was. Like all of this is proven for who I am. It's a big deal. And it is biblical. It absolutely is. And I'm not going to be afraid of that anymore. And I would be very mindful of not being honest with ourselves and not being honest with others and not following your inner guidance because it just may be life and death. It just might be. Okay? This live did get a little heavy, but it's very real. These things are very real. They're very true. And the synchronicities throughout this video were insane. So I'm going to go with the fact that I didn't mess anything up. Lord help me, because if these twin flames keep not uniting, it's killing me every moment. 555. But I can only do what I can do. And when people ask questions, I've got to answer. And so I'm glad you were all here. I'm glad I got to give messages today. I'm glad I got to provide clarity. I love doing it. It's who I am. It's what I do. And I can't wait for the next best thing. Now, I've put a complaint out on my channel for the copyright, so I'm going to wait a day or two, and then I will post the next missing persons. But right now, they're dinging me, 2222, trying to say that I don't have the rights to do these, but I'm proving to them I do because I've purchased the licenses. So hopefully that resolves in a day or so. What's funny, because I'm not a paid creator. But so why are they dinging me? The things that make you go, there's no coincidences. Plus, I have over like 4,000 views every day on my channel. Just not a lot of subscribers for that because who I am is a little mind-blowing. And a lot of people are either judging it or they're not awake. Okay? And I'm a little different than those light workers and star seeds, right? My job was not to get thousands of followers. My job was to move the earth first. And I did that. And now we brought down God's light. And I'm so excited. And it's going to make everything all right. That's all I know. And that's what he said yesterday. Balance will be restored. And they said the divine feminines. Remember, Amy, they said in our workshop yesterday, the divine feminines was a beautiful, massive force. And the balance will be restored. So I hold space for that. 27. You guys, when I mention these numbers, it's also part of messages. So if you feel like looking them up, look them up. And it might just reiterate what I'm saying. Or it might be another message for you as well. There's been tons of them in this video. So I can only pray to God that everything was received with love and light and truth. And that I didn't mess anything else up for the twin flame unions. Because I have a broken heart for all of them more than I do for me. Amen, amen, amen. Yep. If anybody is still curious in that workshop, it is still for sale. It will be uploaded to my website. All of these things that I've done, that I recorded, anybody can purchase to have proof of it. So the things that I say, I don't just say. They're all backed with proof on a spiritual plane as well as on a physical one now too, and will be even more. Okay. And I even asked again about Mount Vesuvius, and they just said, just wait. So time will tell. Okay. So much love to all of you. I think I got to go potty because I drank all my tea really fast. And I feel like I got hit by a Mack truck from yesterday. That workshop was absolutely insane. So I'm going to go rest with my chitlins. Maybe I can talk them into brushing my hair because you guys, my hair is past my rear end now. And I have one hand. What's the name of the workshop, Angela? It is the Awakening and Healing Through Christ's Light. I can post a link to it right after the thing. yeah, so I will do that. I will probably actually upload it and change the link. So give me a little bit, or you can purchase it through that link if you want to, because I didn't upload it yet, and I'll just email it to you. It's up to you. But it is the link that I've been posting. It is Awakening and Cleansing Through Christ's Light. I think is the majority of the name. It is one of the main ones on my website, and I will just share the link with it here as well, because it was a big deal. And if you do it, you're taking a part in it, and you're taking a part in bringing more Christ light down. And I will warn you, it will affect your system, and it's going to wake you up even more, because it was massive. And I processed a lot of energy, and you will too if you do it. Okay. It's a blessing. It's a beautiful thing. So you're so welcome. So yeah, give me just a little bit. I'll change it and I'll upload it if you want, or you can just have me email it to you. I don't care, honestly. It's up to you. If you wanted it, either way, it's yours. If you want to join it. But even the portals, the Golden Gate portal and the Ascension portals, all of those are still available. And I should probably do like a sale on them too, coming soon or something too. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that, but now I am. So that's that. And I will keep in touch with you guys. Give me a day or so on here for another video to be uploaded. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just be mindful for big changes on the earth. That's all I can say. So no, I think the M mountain I was thinking of, Amy, was Rainier, Mount Rainier. I think they all start with an M because of Mount, right? That's funny. But I was trying to look for an M one, and I heard Rainier in my head. So it was Mount Rainier that I healed. I don't think it was Vesuvius. I do think Vesuvius came up in my energy before, but I think the one that I absolutely healed and had to heal was Mount Rainier. And I don't know a lot about it, but that's what had come through. Yeah, no, I don't think so. If you mean Machu Picchu, I cleansed a lot of souls out of that. Yeah, Machu Picchu, I cleansed a lot of souls, and I activated a pyramid there. So I don't think anything's going to blow there. Machu Picchu is a different place. Like, I don't know exactly what that one's about, but I did activate the pyramid, and I cleared out the souls there, and that's what we did there. So there was actually a portal there. Machu Picchu is very powerful energy, and I think people have always known that. But there's a portal there that I activated. But Rainier is the one that I healed, because I did that one in a big way. Like, one day they had me go there, and I like shone light through it, and I healed the crack in it. And I think that was Rainier. Vesuvius, I don't know. I just know that they are still having that in my energy, and they've said it more than one time. That it's imminent. But again, I don't guarantee anything. I hold space that what's going to happen is going to happen. However, after what we did yesterday too, I'm like, oh, snap. I don't know what that means. I don't know what else is coming, but it's big. That's all I can tell you. Right? It's big. And then you can also look at the Hopi prophecy. I have met all of those too. I have the shaman in me. There's Indian energy here. There's a lot going on here. So is it biblical? Yes. Is it Hopi prophesial? Yes. Which I've never read any of those, by the way, because I know half the Bible isn't real. They changed it. So I'm not religious. I'm a mystic. I talk about that as well. So yeah, the Hopi prophecy and part of what the Bible talked about, coming of Christ, all of that stuff, it happened, you guys. That's not a joke. That's what that workshop was yesterday. Christ's light has returned, and Jesus changed. His soul is free. He has a flower in the Garden of Eden, which is absolutely beautiful. And they also say we will find the Garden of Eden coming forward. And so I can't wait for that, because it's a beautiful place when I go there in my meditations. It's like home for me. I love it, love it. And I'm like, do I get a flower there too when I die? I hope so. Like, I just don't want to get poisoned like Jesus did, because that was brutal. I wouldn't recommend that for my own worst enemy. It took him a good 20 minutes to die, and he did bleed out of every orifice. He did. And so I can't remember what the poison was. It's in the recording. I want to say it's arsenic, but I think it started with an S. I really cannot remember what it was, but whatever they gave him was major. He suffered in a big, big way. And so now when I see him, though, he is larger than life and his soul is free. And I cried so hard today when he came through. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. But just be mindful, where they get the story of he died for our sins. No, he did not. He died out of sin. Somebody murdered him. It was not his time to go. He still had part of a purpose to fill here. Sulfuric acid, was that it? Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, it was something like that. It was weird, but it was very painful. I felt it. Oh my God, I felt like I was dying. I was crying. It was hurt so bad. Like my stomach hurt so bad, so bad. I felt like my stomach was being eaten alive. And then it felt like it carried through the rest of my body. Like my organs were being like what acid would do, like melting away and eaten alive. And then I started bleeding out of every orifice, my eye sockets, my skin, my hands. I was already bleeding from that poison. It was not from the cross. They used the cross to carry him across the desert. And I think somehow they manipulated the story in order to benefit from it. And that's what I seen. So I don't care if you don't believe it. That is the truth. And I know for a fact that there's another version of the Bible coming that is their true purpose after it all settles. So these things are massive. And for people that don't see it, I pray for them every day. Because I know I've sacrificed my entire life for this thing for almost 3 years now. 5, 5, 5, 5. There's major changes coming our way, and I'll be damned if I'm on the one side I don't want to be on. And I will be damned if my twin flame is as well, or any of the twin flames for that matter. That's the battle I'm fighting still to this day, and it takes me down still every day in a big, big way. And they always tell me, stand strong and spiritual, because he's still giving his light away to some darkness, unfortunately. And so I do pray for them every single day. It's all we can do. And I still have so much unconditional love. Like if he showed up here today, I would literally crumble in his arms and cry and still want to kiss him. I can't help that at all. That's how I feel about it. I don't hate him for it. When darkness gets in, it will put holes in your soul. And that's the truth. And that's what happened. So I just want to fix those for him and for the collective whole. That's what it is. Okay. I don't know where he moved to, Amy. And I'm stuck here in my hellhole being threatened. I have to move out all the time, but they're still not kicking me out. And then they were supposed to pay for my rent through the COVID relief stuff. And it still hasn't gone through. So I got another eviction notice. I don't know where he lives. There's no heat here. Our heaters went out in this apartment like a long time ago. And they're like, oh, if you need space heaters. But luckily, in the springs, we have barely had any cold weather. And the other day, I'm like, it's too cold. I want my warmth back. And today it got into the 50s, 51. I'm like, thank you. Just keep warming up, even though it's kind of scary. And so honestly, I'm still in hell and I'm still battling this darkness that I didn't invite in. And until we unite, that's what's going on. His energy affects mine in a crazy, crazy, crazy way. And when he left me that day, my dog freaked out, my heart sank, and I don't know where he went. Spirit tells me we've got to come together, but they're battling his fake free will because it's false in a lot of ways, because his sole purpose, I know, is bigger than that. And I know he feels it. And he used to watch my channel. I don't even know if he does anymore. It's hard to believe he still cares, but Spirit tells me he does, because they are working overtime with him. But I don't know where he lives. And I can't leave, even though my life is very stressful because of it. And I'm listening to Spirit every step of the way. And that's what I preach, because that's what I do. And that's what saves my ass every step of the way, especially for this ascension. If you don't think it's real, wake the frick up, because it could get ugly for you coming very soon. Okay, when they talk about the Last Supper, every day right now is pretty much the Last Supper, because when things do shift, it will shift very quickly, because that's all we're waiting for. God is not going to give up on these twin souls. I've talked about them, they are like God's army, and we are supposed to bring down that unconditional love. We have to change the blueprint of love. And I felt it coming through my vessel. It's a big deal. It's very real. And I know he felt it too, because he gave my light to her. Somehow she convinced him she was me. And it literally almost killed me. And I would sit here and cry 2 doors away from him, and he wouldn't hear me, didn't care, thought I was crazy. And then he left. And I don't know where he went. And I'm not allowed to leave because I was redirected here for him. And so he's affecting a lot of people. And it hurts every day. But I still have so much love for him, and I'm fighting that battle in every way. And so when I hear other people talk about they are this, and I'm like, you don't even know what it means to be what I am. I would dare you to spend a day in my life doing what I've done, and then we'll talk. And that's how I feel about it. But I guess people want that power, where I'm like, it's almost killed me, my dude. Like, I'm so tired. Like, I just want love at this point. Like, I had to break my arm and be scared all by myself and cry for help on my channel I don't know how many times, and almost be killed. And you know what my blocks are? Like, I did this thing today, and my block to my connection was 50% love, lack of love, and the heartache from what happened to me. Like, it was a big deal. And all I want is love. And I have to wait for him. And I don't know what's going to happen. If he doesn't come, we can't ascend. And neither can the twin flames. It's a big deal. It truly is a big deal. It's part of our ascension timeline. Like, without that, we miss a mark in the ascension. And I don't know what happened. So Spirit, the angels, are really working overtime to help. And karma is playing a role as well. And what I was feeling today is, unfortunately, with what he's doing, even though he's been forgiven by God big time, we saw that yesterday. It did come out in the workshop that the divine masculines have been forgiven by God through and by me. But that doesn't mean he has a big price to pay, because we can't do these things and not have a big price to pay, unfortunately. It's all about karma and lessons learned. And anything that hurts him hurts me. I just don't know why he doesn't feel the same, But that's the true insight into who I am, into what's going on. And if you believe big things aren't coming, I pray for you, because they are. And I can only pray people are listening to their guidance rather than being in judgment, because if you try to logically explain these things or think they're just conspiracy theories, think again. That's going to bite you in the ass as well. Because I've already processed all that and came to the reality of who I am. I'm highly educated and had one mass awakening. And I am not a light worker or a starseed. And I say that over and over. 4444. If you don't believe me, ask your inner knowing. They will tell you, and they will show you. And Spirit tells me it's time for people to know who I am. What that means and how it's going to happen, I don't even know for sure. I just know that's what they're telling me. So every day I'm following that guidance. I'm fighting the battle for somebody I love dearly, and I cannot deviate from that no matter what. I've signed that contract. He has my heart. It's just the way it is. And I will fight for him till the day I die. So that's what's going on. I would love to change that story. I would love to be in the best love story I've ever had, and to be growing in love with him, and to showing him love, and to healing our journey, because it needs to happen. And to just, it's a new beginning, right? It's like all that stuff has already been healed. It's a new beginning that needs to start now, because the more it doesn't, the more of a hole in my heart I get. And it just makes me sad. But it's pure unconditional love, because all I can still do is want to kiss him and want to be with him and want to see his face and want him to tell me he loves me. And then I want to see all the twin flames unite. Yep. So it's a big deal. If it doesn't happen, I don't know what's going to happen. All I can tell you is the angels are working overtime for that. And that's what put our ascension on a different path right now and kind of put things on hold. 444. And that Fabio guy talks about it too. Why are we on hold? He also talks about the physical symptoms. He's like, you're not dying, but it might feel like you are. So these physical symptoms could get a little worse. I know, Angela, that's what you said, 444. I love that. That is divine support, divine guidance, angels working overtime. I love it. That's so awesome. So that is my story. That is my truth. The healings I do, the messages I do, the videos I do, the missing persons I do. This is why I believe in them as much as I do. Okay. So just be mindful. Allow your heart to be opened and your logical mind to melt away. Allow ego to be set free, because that's the only thing that keeps your spiritual connections at bay. Okay. On that note, I love you all. I've been on here for quite some time. So I better go cook dinner, some one-handed, walk my kids through cooking me dinner, and maybe I can get them to brush my hair. And that I'm just going to chill. And so much love to all of you. I do have appointments all this week. And so keep in mind for that, I will be at all of them. So I've got 2 coaching sessions. I've got 1, 2, 3 healing sessions all coming up. And then we got Christmas, which I don't know what I'm going to do at this point for that. And so, it's just busy season, but I'm not going anywhere. I just got to get my channel to where they're not dinging me again for no reason. Gosh dang, why would they be doing that, right? I don't know how I stick out in such a big way. There are no coincidences. Ciao, Bella. I love that. I haven't heard that in forever. Ciao, Bella. I got to come up with a theme song, but they might ding me for that. I better pay for the rights to it if I do. Copyright that shit right away. And so I'm really trying hard to do that. I don't know why I can't come up with my own theme songs, like dun 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 dun. I can't do it. It's all movie theme songs that pop in my head. So I'm still working on that. I should just channel one. God dang it. A channeler, not being a channel, not channeling all this stuff. What's wrong with you? That should be my answer right there. So thanks for letting me do the messages today, guys. I really, truly enjoyed them. And I will be back again very soon. Okay. Keep your eyes peeled for videos. I'm just trying to get them off my back a little bit and not copyright claim them, whatever they're doing to me, and ding me. I got to prove to them I own the rights, which I do. So not a big deal. So just be a little patient. Bella, oh Bella, I love that too. Angela, you made my day. Thank you. And do a lymph drainage. Okay. If you want a healing session with me right now, Angela, it's buy one, get one free through the rest of December. And I've had a lot of people take advantage of that. It's a big deal. So it's actually been really awesome too. So keep that in mind. I can help you with that. You can get 2 for the price of 1 if you wanted to. Okay. Healing sessions with me too are not limited to just one thing. We hit it all that we can. So that's a dat. You get what you pay for. So much love. I will see you all again soon. And again, I might do a giveaway on this dang deck because it's just sitting over there in the wrapping doing nothing. So if nobody has this deck, let me know. And I might just do a giveaway on it. All right. Hasta la vista. I'm going to also go get creative, I think, if I have any energy, and make more candles because those sold out super fast. And I love my soaps. I think I'm going to make some of those for Christmas. All right. Oh, man, those soaps are great. And right now I'm like, I wish I had them in a pump bottle because I'm only one-handed. Dang it. All right. So much love, you guys. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.